One of our regular photographers, JP Malherbe, sent us a stunning sunrise of the sun speaking through the trees in Robertson. Now, JP, you can expect cooler conditions today with a morning shower of 2, reaching a maximum of only 18 degrees. Thank you to both Anthea and JP for sending through your sunrise pictures and kickstarting this Monday with us. Now, you too can do the same and contribute to our weather report by posting your weather selfies on Expresso's Facebook page. You know we absolutely love seeing them. Now, taking us down under wallabies have been skipping with snow underfoot as people in southeast Australia enjoy rare snowfall brought on by Antarctic winds. New South Wales, Victoria, the Australia Capital Territory and the island state of Tasmania have experienced snow, with pictures of snowy towns and landscapes filling social media. Now, these snowy scenes are a far cry from the scorching temperatures that brought catastrophic wildfires to the region in January. But the cold weather hasn't been all fun and games, with some cars sliding off the roads due to icy conditions. Now, Australia's Bureau of Meteorology said that more than 1 meter of snow had fallen and the cold weather is likely to remain for several days. The wild winds and heavy snow have led to the closure of several roads. Now, bringing it back home and having a first look at the temperatures for the rest of the country, starting off with Polokwane, your lower 6 peaking at 26 today. Umbombela ranges from 13 to 33 degrees. Pretoria, your minimum temperature is coming through with 8 and a maximum of 25. For you, Johannesburg, ranging from 6 to 23. Mahikeng, 9:27. Klerksdorp, 8:26. And if you do find yourself in Kimberley today, your temperatures range from 9 to 27. Bloemfontein coming through with 1 to 25. Richards Bay 14:25 as well. Pietermaritzburg 9:26. And then, of course, South Africa's playground Durban coming through with a minimum temperature of 10, peaking at 24 degrees. Umtata 8:22. East London coming through with 11:20 and a 40% chance of rain today. And then Cradock coming through with 5 to 25 degrees. The friendly city of Port Elizabeth PE ranges from 11 to 18, George 9:16. The mother city Cape Town with a minimum temperature of 11, peaking at 19 degrees. Worcester 9:19. Sutherland coming through with -2 today and a high of 20. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington ranging from 8 to 30 degrees. But of course, it's a beautiful start of a brand new week, and we hope that you keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you're still locked in, you're still live, and it's a beautiful Monday morning, of course. Yes, we are kicking it off in the midst of Women's Month in Mzansi, where we're celebrating some prolific women who have made their unique mark in history and have also paved the way for other women to shine just as brightly.
It's so inspiring, and as we shine a light on female empowerment and gender equality today, which we should be doing every single day, to be honest, we'd like to share words of wisdom from Madeleine Albright, who was the first woman to hold the cabinet post of U.S. Secretary of State from 1997 to 2001. Of course, what an incredible achievement. And this is what she once had to say.
She says, "It took me quite a long time to develop a voice, and now that I have it, I am not going to be silent." Oh, absolutely love that.
I thought you were going to put on a voice and not say her quote in your deep voice. Now that I have found my voice. Man. But of course, that is so inspiring. And of course, let's continue to fulfill the vision and dream of all of those women who have contributed to the advancements that we have made today. There's a long way to go, but as the world, when we band together and we consciously focus on really uplifting our women and really making sure that they are given the voice that they need to have in the world, we'll do a better job and have a better place for all to come. See you after this.
This Tuesday evening at 7:30, join us on The Insider SA as we explore stories of collaboration. See how local craftsmen came together to build an architectural masterpiece in the Karoo. Award-winning musician Vusi Nova joins forces with his fans to create a hit single. And meet the husband and wife team who have kept South Africans fit and losing weight during lockdown. The Insider SA, Tuesdays at 7:30. Repeat Saturday night at 8, only on SABC3.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into a bumper weekend of sport. The battle for the top spots in Super Rugby AU now really heating up as the Reds closing in on log leaders. The Brumbies, in fact, swapping positions over the weekend. This weekend, both teams showing their determination for the title after thrashing their respective opponents. From Australia to Austria we go. There was yet another red flag in Austria with Portugal's Miguel Oliveira celebrating his maiden MotoGP win at another dramatic race at the Red Bull Ring. Sports anchor Jeremy Harris has all the details. I think we all went a little bit footy mad over the weekend, so we can't forget about all of the other wonderful sporting results that took place. Jeremy, good morning. How are you feeling after this mad sporting weekend, my friend?
I'm tired. I want to lie down for a bit longer.
I feel you, buddy. Sorry to get you up, but we're going to need the coffee today. But at least they delivered over the weekend in every sporting code. Let's start with the rugby. Points are plenty. Things really hotting up and intensifying in terms of that title race. Let's start with the Western Force and the Reds. You didn't give the Force much chance, in fact, any chance at all, and neither did the Reds. An incredible performance there. The earlier game, of course, the Waratahs up against the Brumbies. We saw the top of the table position swap twice with both of these teams, but let's start with the Reds now. 57 points is incredible, and the Western Force just not able to find any continuity, but a really brilliant and determined, it must be said, performance by the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we spoke about this on Friday, we sort of had a feeling that it would be a Reds win. I've got to tell you that it would have taken a very brave man to predict that score, 57-5. But still, I was expecting the Reds to come away with a win, excuse me, and even a bonus point win. But 57-5 does sort of give you a sense of a really polished performance. And I mean, take nothing away from them. They were full value for that win and for all of those points.
And there were, I think, 2 or 3 tries disallowed or fluffed on the white, so it couldn't have been even bigger. I mean, this is an unfamiliar position territory for the Reds, so we're not used to seeing mounting a title campaign here, but they seem to have enough in the tank here to take it all the way. They could win Super Rugby Australia.
Yeah, look, I mean, I must say that this has been a really good season, if you call it that, for them. They've really played good rugby. I wonder what would have happened if we'd seen a full and proper season of Super Rugby in terms of involving all of the other South African sides, because they really were polished. They would have mounted a good challenge and posed some stiff opposition to all of the other teams as well.
Yeah, I was just saying to one of our cameramen that it's about time we see a South African team back in action again, chomping at the bits, my word. But at least we have been treated to some exciting rugby. The Brumbies and the Waratahs was always going to be, I think, the key fixture or the standout fixture for the weekend. Expected probably a little bit more from the Waratahs, looking at the back-to-back wins and their recent spate of form, but the Brumbies showing their championship winning credentials. They are definitely back to their best after their blip last weekend.
Yes, I mean, I've got to say that 38-11 doesn't do justice to at least the kind of quality of team that that the Waratahs are. That was a very surprising scoreline for me. I think that what we're seeing is that it's a funny season. The global pandemic has created some interesting sort of changes in momentum and interesting changes in form. And I mean, hats off to the guys who've adjusted to it. But I really was surprised to see the Waratahs fall away like they did. 38-11 isn't the kind of scoreline that they would have expected against the Brumbies.
So the Brumbies back to the top of the table, but still very few points separating them, and we will keep an eye on Super Rugby AU. So let's cross now to the other AU, the Austria, for round 2 of the Austrian Grand Prix, this time out dubbed the Styrian Grand Prix. Another red flag race. Thankfully, no one was hurt in the process. Another very exciting race and so many surprises. This season of MotoGP, obviously with Marc Marquez now out, and it looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Really, everything has been thrown wide open, and Miguel Oliveira getting his maiden win. I think that's the first MotoGP win for a Portuguese rider in history as well. So these young riders are doing something special. What a phenomenal year for KTM, it must be said. What did you make of his race?
Very good ride, but I think the most important thing, and you've already touched on it, G, is the fact that we are going to have ourselves a new world champion this year. Unfortunately, Marquez looks like common sense is going to prevail. You don't want to take a chance because, I mean, he's still got quite a bit of racing left in him. So he's going to sit out this season. And as a result, there will be a different and a new name on the World Championship title at the end of the season. Who will it be? Because, I mean, literally every week we are seeing new names, different names, go to the top of the podium and walk away with the title.
You know, you talk about a good weekend for Red Bull KTM. Paul Espargaro had a fantastic race, and I think we can all really feel for Joan Mir, who I think had it in the bag. I think he was about 2 minutes ahead, 2 seconds ahead when that red flag came out. But let's talk about Brad Binder finishing in a very credible 8th position. He's now 4th on the log. I mean, he could do this. I mean, there's still a bit of a gap, but with Quattraro not having 2 great races back to back, as you say, this is wide open. Should we be putting any hopes in Brad Binder actually winning this title?
Look, I can't help myself. I am. I'm hoping for him. I mean, I've crossed everything. I can only show you some of the things that I've crossed. But I mean, it does set itself up nicely for a really strong challenge from the South African. I mean, let's look at how he's, if you like, matured from the first race to now, where maybe getting used to the bike, getting used to the team, probably, you know, communicating the way that he wants his setup done, to now where there's a really good communication with the guys. He's becoming, I mean, this is his rookie season of MotoGP, and he's going, guys, it was my mistake. The tires were the wrong tires, and that's why we didn't place it as high as we should have. I mean, that's the mark of a rider who has been at the top of his game for years. That's a sort of a comment that you get from a Marquez or from a Hamilton, if you want to talk F1, you know, very much taking it on himself. He's the leader of the team. He's going to be the one who determines his destiny.
And still beating Rossi, which I think is most pertinent here. So we're going to obviously keep you around, my friend. Lots of football action to talk about, both Europa and UEFA Champions League finals thrilling us over the weekend. Jeremy Harris, you stick around. You can let us know how you feel about all of the football action this weekend. Hit us up on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
Of course, now from performances all over the world to the very beautiful and exciting performances that we get right here in the studio. This morning, of course, we're joined by Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay, my men. Looking so good this morning. I see it's a fresh Monday. You got a fresh fade as well. Loving the look. And of course, Jared Ricketts, you've been traveling all over. That voice has been doing beautiful things this weekend. What you been up to?
Yeah, so for this month of August, myself and the city of Cape Town have been traveling around the Western Cape every Sunday. And yesterday I found myself in Nyanga. I found myself in Matruisfontein, Bonteheuwel, just spreading the positive message, and also with a focus on gender-based violence, the seriousness of the matter in our communities, and just being able to share my gift, which has been an amazing pleasure.
Beautiful, and we're going to be sharing that gift and continuing on. Of course, it's Gospel Mondays, and we've got some incredible options for you this morning. Seek the Kingdom is one of the poll options that we have. We've got Give Thanks, and we've got Imagine, and that's the beautiful performance options that we will have later coming up in the show. Of course, stay tuned for the magic. We'll see you guys later.
Struggling to wake up and get going these cold, wintry mornings? Get that first pick-me-up cuppa going to keep moving and motivated for the rest of the day. Warm up your dull moments with SuperM this winter.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you. Yes, a very happy birthday to you. Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live on SABC3. It's that time of the day where we wish you, our loved and loyal viewers, a very happy, happy birthday. And hey, if you're celebrating your birthday today, well, you share it with Chad Michael Murray, who turns 39 years old today. 39. Can you believe it? 39 years old today. He's an American actor, former fashion model. He's done so well. He's well known for playing Lucas Scott in the drama series One Tree Hill. I loved him in that. And of course, most recently starred with Bruce Willis in the action thriller Survive the Night, and then returned to his rom-com roots for a TV movie titled Love in Winterland. Happy birthday.
He's just serving us all
Chad
the looks
Michael.
in there.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to you, Chad Michael
yeah.
Murray. And then, of course, we have a beautiful video sent through by Kuthla Adams for her little niece, Jalen Adams. Let's take a look.
Birthday, Jelly. You're the coolest 13-year-old on earth. We love you.
Happy birthday, Jelly. Love you so much. You are beautiful, intelligent, and have a beautiful and bright future in front of you.
Yo, Charles, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, let you know how much I love you and how much I'm proud of you. Do enjoy your day. Stay awesome as you are.
Happy birthday. We love you.
Oh, happy birthday,
man.
Jalen. I feel like she's our niece because it's
Yeah,
all
the
family.
family niece,
TikTok
right?
queen coming through. Happy birthday to you, Jalen, from all of us. And, of course, your auntie, Kuthla. And then we have another one, Shara.
Shara on the line. Shara is 20 years old. Shara, good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? Most importantly, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm good, and you?
Very,
Yes,
very
so
good.
good.
Shara, it's a big one. You're waking up and you're 20 years old. What's the plan for the day? How are you celebrating?
Oh, nothing much. It's a Monday. Just gonna have a small party with my family.
Okay, great.
So
And
sweet.
do you have anyone in mind that you're going to be spending it with? Is it just your immediate family? Or are you meeting some relatives and friends as well?
My parents and my nephew.
So sweet.
Nice.
Well, listen, Shara, we have such a sweet message here for you. Let me read it out to you. It says, happy 20th birthday to my cousin Shara Pillay. May God bless and keep you under his wings. Stay beautiful and humble, sweetie. I love you always. This is from Shade and family. So happy birthday, Shara. That's a sweet message.
Thank you.
Oh, man, beautiful, Shara. I'm sure you'll have a big one and a very fun one. It's such a big one. 20. Do you remember when you turned 20?
No, I don't even
all
remember
of
that.
those years.
But we're going to keep it going, keep it flowing, because the next one goes out to Riyadh. It's a happy 16th birthday to Riyadh. Do you remember when you were 16, Daviso?
No.
It says, enjoy your special day to the fullest. And this is from all your loving family. And then a big one as well, Lorinda. Happy 76th birthday to my mom, Lorinda. May you continue to be blessed with many more happy and healthy years. Love you lots. And this is from your daughters, Bonita and Ophelia, your son-in-laws, and your 4 grandchildren. Look at Lorinda, living her best life.
Happy birthday. Then Tabang, on your birthday, may your spirit be enriched in light, love, and hope for a prosperous year ahead. Happy birthday to you, Tabang Samson. This is from Major. Happy birthday. Then Deboho is in the house as well. Deboho, happy 21st birthday to Deboho Tebe. May you have all the love that your heart can hold, all the happiness a day can bring, all the blessings life can unfold. Happy birthday from your friends. Happy birthday, T-Man.
And then wishing Annaline, a volunteer, a fantastic birthday. God bless you from Auntie Elaine and family. Loving that bow over there. And of course, if you would like to send us through your birthday videos or messages, that number is 071-640-6551. As always, give us 24 hours in order for us to wish you. And then, of course, if you want to email us, you can do it so at birthdays@cordova.tv.
I know that, of course, we're celebrating a viewer's birthday here. We're celebrating Shira's birthday. We're celebrating everybody's birthday who we've just wished well. But we have a viewer's winning recipe to do so. Let's take a look at that. Guys, what's happening?
We're just celebrating their birthdays, Tubbs. Nothing like a Monday.
And it's feeling like a Monday. We're going to need it. We're going to need a lot of these this morning. Not too chilly this morning, but we can always do with a beautiful warm-up filler.
Indeed.
And you're going to be put to work this morning creating something that almost celebrates Christmas. It's not Christmas in July, it's Christmas in August, but we love it, man.
Yeah, I'm getting my Christmas warm-up right now before we head into it. See you straight after this. 30 seconds. I'm ready to get my warm-up filler on. Of course, but now, see guys, we hope that you are having one heck of a warm-up winter now. With warm-up filler at time, the Expresso viewer Genevieve Ferry has been doing just that and won a SuperM prize for sharing her Christmas in a mug warm-up filler. Now, of course, to stand a chance of winning your share of that 500,000 in cash and prizes, pay close attention as Genevieve shares her tasty tips for a winning SuperM warm-up filler. Check it out.
Hello everyone, my name is Genevieve Ferry and I'm proudly South African with Lebanese roots. I'm an adventurous foodie with a degree in branding and marketing, which has fortunately enabled me to specialize in online brand and food content. And I'm all about making food an adventure, bringing magic to food and drink experiences. Whether it was preparing ingredients with my hero, my late dad, for beautiful potjies, to trekking to Krugersdorp for traditional Sunday lunches with my grandparents, food has always been a part of my journey. I think lockdown has definitely ignited a spark in me to be more adventurous and be more passionate about food. And I think competitions like SuperM Warm-Up Filler have given us that opportunity to really just find our creative space in the comfort of your own home and make it a memorable experience. Expresso Show is that show that you just look forward to each and every single morning. It vibes up your day and makes you feel good. And I really just find the show to be so diverse, trendy and informative. Definitely love the food segment, learning about different recipes and how it celebrates the African culture. I think that all the presenters have such a great energy about them. You just want to go out and enjoy your day once you watch them. And especially Kuhle Girl, you're just killing the game, and you know, all about Women's Day and Women's Month, so a big shout out to all the girls on the show. Keep doing your thing. I had been noticing the competition online. I think during lockdown, social media has become like even more a part of our lives, and I thought, wow, this is something I could really be a part of. It resonates with what I'm about, you know, creating experiences at home, you know, during this lockdown that we're all in. That's what really just inspired me to go out and get my SuperM Warm-Up Filler and create my magical hot drink in a mug. The inspiration behind my winning SuperM Warm-Up Filler was Christmas in July. I just love all the feelings that Christmas gives, and you know, it's just a time where we need to be in the spirit of giving during this lockdown. So I thought, wow, I'm going to recreate all those feelings that Christmas evokes, and I'm born on Christmas Eve, so it's a time that I love spending with my family, and I thought I'm going to decorate my mug like a Christmas tree, and that's exactly what I did. I'm absolutely over the moon to share my winning SuperM Warm-Up Filler Christmas in a mug with you. It's like basically decorating a Christmas tree. All your embellishments, all your decorations, we're bringing that to life with mine. So first off, I have a clear mug which enables me to show exactly what's in my SuperM Warm-Up Filler. I've then tied a beautiful ribbon and bells, which just gives it that extra Christmas feel. From there, I'm going to share one of my top tricks with you, which is drizzling honey onto one plate, and then I'm going to crush up some red candies and do that on another plate. I then proceed to dip and roll my mug into the plate with the honey and then roll it into the red candies. This gives a stained glass effect which just really illuminates the glass, and what I'm trying to create here is a Christmas ball-like effect. So it really is like having a Christmas decoration in your mug. From there, we're going to now get our other garnishes ready. I've done candy cane-like skewers where I've cut up white marshmallows and red licorice and layered them on skewers. You can set this aside for decorating later. And I've also got some crushed up toffee candies for some extra garnish at the end. I used vanilla SuperM flavor and warmed it up on the stove and enhanced it by spicing it up with fresh knob of ginger, a teaspoon of cinnamon and a fresh cinnamon stick. So once I've prepared that, I leave that on the stove to simmer, This way it really just brings out all those warm spices and fragrances out to life. Now for the fun part, putting it all together. Remember, think of it like decorating a Christmas tree. So first up, I'm going to pour my steaming hot SuperM into my beautiful decorated mug. I'm going to then add some fresh whipped cream, which is basically edible snow. From there, I add my super cute gingerbread man. He's got his gloves and scarf on, even a beanie. He's ready for this cold weather. And help support him to stand up with these very stylish candy cane-like skewers that I've handmade. And to finish it all off, because there cannot be enough sweetness in this, is crushed up toffee candies that I've added on top. And voila, you have Christmas in a mug. This is just the perfect treat to cuddle up and cozy and warm up with your SuperM warm-up filler this winter.
Genevieve Ferry. Okay, first of all, we're all about that Christmas in July, Christmas in August, Christmas in September. We'll take it. That was, give her the whole prize. That was amazing.
I feel embarrassed.
Absolutely
like,
awesome.
Look at how little does this. I have to spruce this up, man. I got to add some of that pizzazz, but gee, I got something which I know will match up just a little bit close to yours.
See,
you know what it is.
We got the stained glass effect here. Not quite as spectacular as yours. Don't hold back, bro.
Cheers, my man.
Cheers,
Beautiful
buddy.
stuff, guys. Of course, is your SuperM warm-up filler the next winning recipe? I don't know. Well, let's find out. New opportunities stand a chance of winning your share of that 500,000 Rand in cash, and of course, all those prizes with SuperM, just like Genevieve did. So simply follow the SuperM SA and Facebook pages, as well as your Instagram pages, and upload a photo of yourself enjoying a warmed-up SuperM with the hashtag warm-up-filler. And of course, your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, where you will also find Genevieve's warm-up filler recipe.
I want to see a moustache, bro. Come on. Get a massage.
Burning the midnight oil for that last-minute cram session? A warm-up filler might be just what you need to get yourself back on track and ready to tackle that upcoming exam. Warm up your cold moments with SuperM this winter.
The feel good continues. Now, the tradition of storytelling is one of the most ancient in African culture. For centuries, oral storytelling has been a crucial tool used between generations to transmit a deep knowledge of culture, history, tradition, and social norms. Now, beyond entertainment, storytelling teaches morals and values, informs, educates, and empowers its listeners.
Now, actress, storyteller, poet, playwright, director, and author Tina Mhlope joins us this morning with writer, performer, and poet Sibukazi Jonas to share some inspirational South African stories which they hope will inspire others to share their stories as well. A very good morning, ladies. How are you?
Thank you so much. A very good morning. It's a bit chilly in Cape Town, but we're doing well, thank you.
We'll survive the cold. We'll brace it. But guys, such a pleasure and an honor to be chatting to both of you.
Absolutely. And like I mentioned, you know, storytelling really is such a deeply traditional activity in South Africa and all over the world, actually. And you've both been telling stories for many, many years. Where do you get your inspiration from? And maybe I'll start with you first, Sibukazi.
Well, I think it really started with growing up with my mom telling us it's all me. So there was something that's really intimate about the home space and being told stories in that way, stories at church. I was an avid reader, so I spent a lot of time in the library. And so I really grew up around stories, oral tradition, and the printed word. And so that means the way in which I approach, I'm inspired by stories in my own work is by ordinary lives. It's women that look like me, women that look like my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, growing up in the village and so on. So I'm inspired by the everyday person and the feats of survival that we really go through.
And we're certainly seeing more and more of those kinds of that narrative emerging now, probably more than ever. I've got to ask, maybe Tina, I can put this to you. What advice do you have for young aspiring writers and storytellers who want to share their journeys? How do you start that process?
I think one of the most important things is the memories that we have. Very often, many writers will tell you that they start with memories that they have. Sometimes our childhood is where we start by sharing, you know, I remember when this and this happened. I remember when this happened. When you share those little memories, somebody says, me too, you know, my father used to say this, my father used to say that. And those memories grow into stories that we remember and share more often. And for people who are up-and-coming writers, I think you must write about something that you know, something that you're passionate about, that maybe not even pushed to passionate, but something that makes you feel good. Something sometimes that irritates you. You say, I don't know why this and this has to happen so often. So people write about different things. And in my case, I started writing because of where I was at my age, at 17 years old, what was going on in my life. And when I went into theater, I also started one of my most well-known plays was, have you seen Zandile? That also was from real life experiences and to full-time storytelling, the folk tales, the cultural heritage of my people. When you tell these stories, the messages are universal, and that's what I like. So I'd say to up-and-coming writers, start with what you know.
I love that so much, a message of hope for so many people. But Sibukazi, I want to bring it back to you, and you touched on this briefly, but why do you think it is so important for, you know, us to share our stories today, and especially in a times of crisis and what we're facing right now?
I think just with what Mamzina had said about writing what we know, there's a way in which, and having universal stories, is that it builds community. And if there's anything that we need right now in the time of social distancing and feeling disconnected, is a sense of community. And if we write stories and share stories of hope, it ensures that we don't feel alone, we feel seen, we feel heard, and that our stories are often represented, and we see ourselves represented in the stories of others, the stories that are told. So I think in this crisis, what we need is a stronger connection, a stronger sense of communities, and our stories can do that even from a distance.
Now, you've got to think about the person taking in this story, and it's got to grab them. It's got to have that X factor. How do you know, Tina, maybe you can hone in on this one. How do you know when the story has it, when you've got that story that's worthy of sharing with the world?
I often say, don't tell a story you don't like. Nobody else will. It's like a chef who dishes up a meal they don't like, and they look at the people who are eating and they expect them to enjoy it. Who's going to enjoy a meal that you don't like? same story with us who are storytellers. You need to feel good about the story that you are telling, or if it's not something that is a positive message, it is something that is alerting people, that is awakening something. So, and also the reaction, that you must be able to read your audience if you are telling stories to a live audience. Because sometimes you prepare a certain story, you feel like, okay, this is not the right one for today. And slowly you move to the one that works. You must read your audience. If you don't read your audience and you just come and deliver what you prepared last week, that's not going to work. Storytellers have got to think on their toes.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree. Sipokazi, how can the public then share their stories for the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half Project presents There's a Story in Everyone?
So we're encouraging all South Africans to be really generous with their stories of hope and share them. The 20 most inspirational stories will be compiled into an ebook and shared with orphan and vulnerable children. So what South Africans can do is add the number 087-240-6488 to their WhatsApp contacts and follow the prompts. So they say hi and then follow the prompts. And they can share their story as a Word document, PDF, or a video recording.
No, I know not everyone is
That's extremely important that people feel that there's a place where people want to hear your story. So Cadbury not only is inviting people to tell their stories, but there's this want to hear your stories. You know, when you tell a story, I wonder if they want to hear it. But in this case, Cadbury says, bring it on. We want that story. And so I hope many South Africans are going to rise up to this and bring their stories to know that every living being has got a story to tell.
What a great way to know each other and also know ourselves. And as Sibukazi said, kind of see ourselves reflected in other people. I think that we probably need that now more desperately than ever, is to just feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Ladies, I've got to say thank you so much. I wish we had time for you to both grace us with a story, but we know where to go to get a brilliant story. But thank you for inspiring us and inspiring generations of writers between you as well. So thank you so much for your time this morning and for the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us, and more stories are out there. And I'm excited that South Africans are going to be opening this vault of wisdoms.
Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely love it. So whether real or imagined, Cadbury Dairy Milk believes there's a story in everyone.
And we're encouraging all South Africans to be generous with your stories of hope. Share them with us. Now, the 20 most inspirational stories will be compiled into an ebook and shared with orphaned and vulnerable children. So come on, SA, share your story and inspire theirs.
You can add 087-240-6488 to your WhatsApp contacts and then just follow the prompts. It's really simple. You can share your story as a Word doc, a PDF, or a video recording. Make it even easier. Anything will do as long as it's inspiring and uplifting. Think about that young child that'll be listening and reading that story, once you are done. But all the best of luck.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half Project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
And it's true, there is a story in everyone. We love hearing stories, so get yours through to us. Of course, from all of those inspiring stories to inspiring music from our favorites on Monday. Of course, it's Gospel Mondays here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We have counted your votes, hashtag Gospel Mondays votes that have come through. And of course, those winning songs are give thanks and seek ye the kingdom. And of course, hopefully the selection keeps you in good spirits as we enter the new week. Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay are on standby. Gents, take it away.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say I am strong. Oh, let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done. cause he's given Jesus Christ his son. And now let the weak say I am strong. Oh, let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say I am strong. Oh, let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks.
Come on. And if that's not feel good, then I don't know. Thank you so much, Jared Ricketts, Roderick McKay. Of course, our spirits are lifted to a whole new altitude this morning. We want to hear from you. We want you to send us a video. In fact, Jared Ricketts and Roderick, they want you to send us a video of yourself at home, you and your family singing Give Thanks, and send it to our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. While you do that, we'll take a bit of a breather and get our vocals warmed up, and we'll see you after this. Give thanks. Oh, yes.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we dive into the weekend football action, and what action there was, of course, locally in the PSL, and then two brilliant finals in the Europa and UEFA Champions League, respectively. We are joined by Jeremy Harris and super fan Christopher Fisher. Good morning. Welcome back, Jeremy. Good morning, Christopher. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How are you guys doing this morning?
Oh, loving life, loving the football we've been treated to. Before we get onto the international stage, let's quickly talk about the PSL. I think a bit of a trick missed by Kaizer Chiefs yesterday. Skellum having the season, the shortened season of a lifetime at the moment, as Stellenbosch FC holds Kaizer Chiefs to a 1-1 draw, and none of the chasing pack, Jeremy, able to capitalize, both Pirates and Sundowns being held to a draw.
Yeah, and I mean, even the Orlando Pirates falling by the wayside. So it is becoming sort of a case of the title that nobody wants to win, it looks like. I mean, it really is just a case of the top guys sort of tripping up a bit. I don't know, man. I think the Kaizer Chiefs have got enough in the tank to get them across the line. There's only a few games left. But I wouldn't mind seeing a win or two come through. All due respect to Stellenbosch, though, they really put up a good fight, as they did against Cape Town City the other day when they came away with all 3 points. So a team that you mustn't underestimate, and if you do, this is what happens to you.
Yep, there's a full spread of the results as we now head across to Europe. Of course, we were treated to two stellar finals, one with plenty of goals, with heroes becoming villains, villains becoming heroes. Let's start with UEFA Europa League final. Sevilla are champions yet again. Their 6th Europa League title and a roller coaster of a match. Christopher, what did you make of this incredible encounter? You got a feel for Romelu Lukaku, but a brilliant final. We want to see 5 goals in a final, and they delivered.
Love the trophy, given the experience that they have, given the coach that they have, Antonio Conte. Normally the first time when he comes to a team, he normally wins a big league or wins a trophy. Well, it's football. Anything goes when it comes to football, so you got to take care of a team like...
Yeah, and you got a feel for Diego Carlos, of course. First of all, gives away the penalty. Romelu Lukaku gets it from the spot to get his 34th goal of the season. An unbelievable first season he's had at Inter. And then, of course, the deflection, the own goal at the end to seal the win for Sevilla. But they've done it. A gritty performance, and they really did earn that victory. Let's now move to last night's footballing action. We, I think, expected more goals because both of these teams score so freely, especially Bayern Munich. They were up against Paris Saint-Germain in their first attempt. They could have gotten this title, the French League One champions, but an unbelievable performance from undoubtedly one of the best teams in the world at the moment. Bayern Munich, very deserved winners of the UEFA Champions League. Jeremy Harris, what did you make of that end-to-end action last night and a brilliant performance from the German side?
Well, I mean, just like you, I think I was expecting more goals. I mean, if you think about it, Bayern had scored 15 in their last 3 games. So pardon me for expecting, the goal fest to continue. It didn't happen. It was a final. I suppose we should have measured ourselves against that kind of position of the competition. The final's always very tight. But wow, what brilliant football. And I always had the sense, even though it was tight, and I mean, I know that you and I were chatting to each other sort of in the course of the game last night. It was tight, and I just had a sense, though, that there was something extra from Bayern. They were maybe a little bit more composed, maybe a bit more, in control. It was their 6th title after all, so it wasn't the first time they'd walked onto the turf for that kind of a competition. But what a polished performance, and what a header. I don't know that I've seen such a powerful header as I did last night from Kingsley Coman. What a good score and pinpoint accuracy, which is, of course, exactly what we expect from the Germans.
And Coman, of course, starting as a junior at 8 years old with PSG as well, just to rub it in. But I think you talk about that difference. For me, it was probably Neuer was absolutely superb in the German outfit's goal. A brilliant performance. Bayern Munich get their 6th Champions League European trophy. They are the kings of Europe, and deservedly so. Jeremy Harris, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think we have just lost Stephen on the line there, or Christopher on the line. But thank you so much to all of you for weighing in. If you want to join us as a super fan here on the show, let us know on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. We could be calling you live to chat all things sport, but a scintillating weekend of football. Let's do a full recap of all of our weekend sporting results in the news, and of course our normal news headlines as well.
Thank you very much, Graham. It's just gone a minute past 7 o'clock this morning. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Schools throughout the country are expected to welcome back millions of learners today, with the exception of grade 5 and grade 8. The Basic Education Department says that the schooling system is ready to welcome the remainder of the grades back to school. It says all schools qualify and meet the COVID-19 requirements, and this despite some unions complaining that rural and township schools do not have the necessary personal protective equipment, clean water, additional classes and teachers to cope with the new COVID-19 protocols. Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize yesterday said indications are that the country is over its coronavirus peak and that the number of new infections continues to decline. Latest figures show 3,700 new infections were reported yesterday, bringing the total number to almost 610,000. With 144 more COVID-19 related deaths, the national toll stands at almost 13,000. Earlier, the Department of Health met with unions to address issues that have caused tensions regarding matters relating to the safety of healthcare workers during the pandemic. In international news, Senegalese officials say that they have asked for 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate, the chemical which caused a huge explosion in Beirut, to be removed from Dakar. The quantity in Dakar's port, which is near residential areas, is nearly nearly as much as was in the Lebanese capital. An official says that the chemical is part of a 3,050-ton consignment destined for neighboring Mali. Moving the consignment to Mali poses a challenge given the current political uncertainty after the recent military coup there, which overthrew President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. The World Health Organization has released long-awaited guidance on whether children should wear masks. It's been a point of confusion for parents amid the coronavirus pandemic, since most kids get mild symptoms. Based on the overall interest of the child, including psychosocial needs and the fact that they're not able to put on the masks without assistance, children aged 5 years and under shouldn't be required to wear masks. Children between 6 and 11 should wear masks depending on circumstances, and those above 12 years under the same conditions as adults. And now a few snippets of good news for all to hear. Cape Town Tourism, as the official destination marketing and management organization for the city of Cape Town, has just been approved as a user of the World Travel and Tourism Council Safety Stamp. Its CEO, Enver Dumini, says that this highlights that the mother city is committed to be aligned with the safe travel protocols as set out by World Tourism. This comes as all restrictions on interprovincial travel and tourist attractions have been lifted under level 2 lockdown, and with certain protocols, accommodation facilities are permitted. Meanwhile, the Two Oceans Aquarium will reopen its doors on the 1st of September after 5 long months. Spokesperson Renee Luna said online bookings and ticket purchases are encouraged. She said a maximum of 400 people would be allowed in at a time. Another Cape Town attraction to reopen on the 1st of September is the Table Mountain Cableway. Its carrying capacity has been reduced to 27 from 65 for each trip to meet physical distancing requirements. Cape Town is ready to welcome its visitors and hopefully soon its international tourists as well. Good news there. Time for us to look at what's happening in the world of sports. We'll be back in an hour with another look at the news.
Luke de Jong, what a...
Let's fly through a quick recap of our major results across the globe. Starting here in South Africa, Premier Soccer League tabletoppers Kaizer Chiefs. They were held to a 1-1 draw against Stellenbosch FC at the Orlando Stadium last night. Now, Makosi remain at the top of the standings, though 6 points clear of reigning PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns, despite dropping the points. In the other PSL result from yesterday, Cape Town City FC claimed a memorable 1-0 win over a 10-man Orlando Pirates. So there are going to be 3 PSL fixtures today. Maritzburg face Bidvest Wits. Amazulu take on Bloem Celtic. Both of those matches kicking off at 3:30. Then the evening fixture will see Sundowns up against Golden Arrows at 6 p.m. Then on to Friday's action, Spain's Sevilla became a 6-time UEFA Europa League championship team after edging Inter Milan 3-2. Diego Carlos, who was lucky not to have been sent off. Then a brace by Luke de Jong put Sevilla in the lead before Diego got an equalised for Inter, making it 2-2 in the 35th minute. The match then ended with Lukaku scoring an own goal to take it 3-2 to Sevilla. And then staying with European football, Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich, they beat League One champions Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in a tightly contested final to win the UEFA Champions League. Kingsley Coman scoring the only goal of the match in the 59th minute to secure the win for the German side. Frustrating night for PSG superstar forwards Neymar and Kylian Mbappe, who struggled to find the back of the net. They really were shut down. So Bayern Munich now have won the Champions League for a 6th time in the club's illustrious history. Staying with rugby, a stellar second-half performance by the Brumbies saw them overcome the Waratahs 38-11 in Super Rugby Australia to go back to the top of the standings. Brumbies scoring 4 tries in the final 40 minutes to go 2 points clear of the Reds. Then on Friday, the Reds rang in 8 unanswered tries to thrash the Western Force 57-5, and it couldn't have been more. That bonus point victory temporarily gave them the competition lead before the Brumbies recorded their win. The Rebels set out this round with a bye, of course. And on to motorsport, KTM's Tech 3, Miguel Oliveira. He took Pramac Ducati's Jack Miller and Red Bull KTM's Paul Espargaro on the last corner to win his maiden MotoGP race at the Styrian Grand Prix. That, of course, at the Red Bull Ring yesterday. The second consecutive race in Austria was restarted after being red flagged yet again. Monster Yamaha's Maverick Vinales was forced to jump off his bike due to brake failure. His bike then crashed and burst into flames, causing a red flag and restart. South Africa's Brad Binder finished in a pretty credible 8th place. And then finally, adding our voice to the many, congratulating our Proteas star batsman and former captain Faf du Plessis and his wife Imari Visser, who welcomed their second daughter last week, Thursday. Du Plessis missed Cricket South Africa's culture camp last week to be alongside his wife as they welcomed baby Zoe into the world. So we sent her and the family tons of love and wish them all the best on this new adventure. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take a look at the weather.
Thank you very much, G-Man. Let's take a look at the weather indeed. But first, those beautiful pictures that we have asked you to send through. Nompilo Vuyo sent through her skyline picture all the way from Swaziland, Eswatini, where you can expect sunny with cool temperatures ranging in the early teens. Elizabeth Clark also came through with a selfie sunrise picture from Keymouth in the Eastern Cape, and we are absolutely loving it. Take a look at that. Keymouth will see a cloudy day with temperatures reaching a maximum of 20 degrees. Thank you very much to Nompilo and Elizabeth for your contribution, of course, to our weather report. You can also make sure that you send your sunrise selfies through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Now, down under, wallabies have been skipping with snow underfoot as people in southeast Australia enjoy rare snowfall brought on by Antarctic winds. New South Wales, Victoria, the Australia Capital Territory and the island state of Tasmania have been experiencing snow, with pictures of snowy towns and landscapes filling the social media spots. These snowy scenes really are a far cry from the scorching temperatures that brought catastrophic wildfires, of course, to the region at the beginning of this year. And of course, the cold weather hasn't been all fun and games, with some cars really, as you can see, sliding off the roads due to icy conditions. And Australia's Bureau of Meteorology said that more than 1 meter of snow had fallen, and the cold weather is likely to remain for several days. Now, the wild winds and heavy snow have led to the closure of several roads. Not that great news, but enjoy the snow if you're out there. And now it's time for us to take a look at those temperatures across the country. Here in South Africa, Polokwane, 0% chance of rain today, 6. That's your low, reaching a high of 26. With Mbombela, sunny times today. You start off at 13, peaking at 33 degrees. If you're out in the capital city, Pretoria, 8. That's your low, reaching a high of 25 today. Johannesburg, you will start off at 6, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. 0% chance of rain once again today for Mahikeng, 9. That's your low, reaching a nice temperature of 27 as your highs, with Klerksdorp starting off at 8 and reaching a high of 26. Kimberley, 9 and 27, with Bloemfontein starting off at 1, reaching a maximum of 25. If you're out in Richards Bay, 14, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees, with times of sun and clouds for Pietermaritzburg, 9. That's your low, reaching a high of 26. South Africa's playground, Durban, 10 and 24 at Dubani. Mthatha, 8 and 22, with a 25% chance of rain, and a 40% chance of rain for East London today, 11, reaching a high of 20. Those are your temperatures. If you're out in Craddock, 5 and 25, those are your temperatures. With the friendly city, Port Elizabeth, expecting lots of rain today, 63% chance of rain, 11, reaching a high of 18, with rainy times also anticipated out in George, 9, peaking at 16. The mother city, Cape Town, 11 and 19, with Worcester, a cloudy day today, 9, reaching a high of 19. Sutherland, -2, reaching a high of 20, with Uppington starting off at 8 and peaking at 30 degrees. And that's where we leave it for now. Of course, we still do want to see those beautiful sunrise pictures. Get them through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Now, when it comes to dealing with seasonal allergies, speaking to your pharmacist is really a great way to get professional advice that will help you through the allergy season. Let's find out what all of that is about.
You are still keeping it locked right here to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we all know that spring is looming, and as much as this is a beautiful time of the year for so many, those with allergy issues find this time of the year extremely difficult and frustrating. Now, whether you are suffering with allergy symptoms or think you may be allergic to seasonal allergies, speaking to your pharmacist is always a great way for sound medical advice to help you prevent and manage these bothersome symptoms. Now, we chat to pharmacist Jackie Myman about what we should be asking our pharmacists this spring. Good morning, Jackie, and so good to have you back on the show.
Good morning, Janie. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Seasonal allergies is a thing. It really comes, with no warning. They're not paying rent. They need to go out. But maybe you can take us through what are some of the signs and symptoms we should be looking out for this spring when it does come to allergies.
Springtime is when a lot of our trees are pollinating and huge quantities of pollen are released into the air. So what you'll find is you may suddenly start getting itchy eyes, itchy nose. You'll see people rubbing their noses at a time where we're being told not to touch our faces. You can have a watery nose, stuffy, blocked nose, coughing, sore throat, and very often with the allergies, you're not sleeping well at night. So you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling fatigued because your nose is blocked and you're not breathing properly at night. So those are the main symptoms, and I think everybody knows them.
Suddenly you just said that and I'm finding myself wanting to sneeze or wanting to cough, but maybe take us through some of the common triggers of allergies during this time of the year specifically.
Okay, so allergies are triggered by allergens, and when it's seasonal, very often it's pollen. So as I was saying to you, the trees tend to pollinate from about August till October. So if you suddenly find, like me, I'm feeling quite stuffy this morning, even though I've taken my antihistamine, it's probably tree pollen. And then as we go later in the year, then the grasses and the flowers and everything start pollinating as well. And that generally tends to be up till about November. Those are the grasses. The other allergies tend to be year round, and those are things like house dust mites and smoke, pollution. Unfortunately, we have a lot of pollution, which means people in cities are sort of already sensitized to the pollen. So I think, that's the main thing. This time of the year, it's pollen, and what stirs the pollen up is when it's been windy. So if it's been windy, rather stay indoors and close your windows to try and alleviate some of your symptoms.
Well noted. Now, maybe for someone, just discovering that they may have an allergy, what should they be asking their pharmacist?
So I think the first thing is that, if you suddenly do have a streaming nose, itchy eyes, pop into your pharmacy and ask your pharmacist, what's going on? These are the symptoms I'm having. Is it an allergy? Is it cold and flu? Or is there something else going on? So I think that's the first thing. Ask your pharmacist. Here's my history, here's my symptoms, what's happening? Your pharmacist then will take a medical history and try and work out exactly what it is. And then, as I say, if they identify that it is seasonal allergies, then the next step is to move on to how are we going to best treat you.
Speaking about the treatment of it, how would you then recommend we best treat these types of allergies? Are there some do's and maybe don'ts that can relieve these symptoms quite rapidly?
So I think the first thing is, a lot of people go like, oh, it's just hay fever. But hay fever or seasonal allergies, allergic rhinitis is not a trivial disease. It can have really a big impact on our quality of life. When we're talking about our children, it can affect their learning because you're not sleeping well at night. On top of that, you've got this blocked nose, you've got these itchy eyes. It can lead to sinusitis. It can lead to ear infections. It can even develop into chest colds and things like that. So the first thing I want to say to you is don't trivialize it. Go out there and get the treatment for it. So we've identified that you have got seasonal allergies. And then I'd say to you, right, what we need to do is the first thing, the quickest and most effective thing is an antihistamine. So let's get you onto an antihistamine. And again, we need to know, are you on any other medicines? Do you drive a truck? Because we don't want to give you an antihistamine that makes you drowsy. Do you need a nasal spray? Is your nose blocked? So there's so many things that the pharmacist can do for you, and there is treatment out there. So go and get help.
Jackie, you speak about the treatment. Is it true that, some medication can make you quite drowsy?
Absolutely. So the older antihistamines, the one that were around when our moms and when we were children, those antihistamines definitely make you drowsy. They're very effective at decongesting and they're very effective antihistamines. But if you are a driver of a big Pantechnicon truck, it's not a good idea that you take them because you're going to fall asleep at the wheel and you're going to have an accident. The same thing, if you're trying to study, if you're at work, it's really going to impact your quality of life. So I think the sedating antihistamines should be kept for at nighttime because thankfully we've got new generation antihistamines now, which are the non-sedating antihistamines. And those are the ones that you would probably be looking at during the day, or perhaps a corticosteroid nasal spray is also very effective at more the long-term allergies.
Jackie Myman, always lovely having you with us and for all your expertise on allergies this morning. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks very much and stay safe.
When dealing with allergies, prevention is the optimal strategy. So before spring allergies hit you like a ton of bricks, why not visit your pharmacist? We all deserve to enjoy life allergy-free. Allergex Non-Drowsy can assist you with allergy relief for the entire day.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live on SABC3. At the start of a brand new week, we thank you for choosing to start with us. Thank you so much for that. Now, here's a question. What's it like to be a woman in Cape Town? It's a good question, right? So journalist, author and founder of Woman's Zone, Nancy Richards, and co-author Carol Du Toit, they decided to search out and find art. In their book, Being a Woman in Cape Town, they shared the stories of 13 phenomenal and inspirational women from the mother city. And this year, at the virtual Artscape Humanity Arts Festival, the art of storytelling will really come to life in a live half-hour webinar where Nancy's book will be featured. And she joins us this morning via video call to tell us all about this. Nancy Richards, good morning. Thank you so much for making the time to chat to us.
It's a pleasure. Hi, Tabitha. Nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you. Nancy, I mean, this is really such an important question you're asking. What's it like being a woman in Cape Town? But what was the inspiration behind the book, Being a Woman in Cape Town?
Well, yeah, you might well ask what it's like to be a woman in Cape Town. The experience is so different for so many women. And I suppose that it wasn't so much the inspiration behind the book. The book was a result of that inspiration. One of the questions we asked at Woman's Zone is, you know, what is it like to be a woman in Cape Town? And we all make assumptions about each other. We all think, oh, well, that's that woman and she does this and she does that. But, you know, if you sit down and you listen to a woman tell her story, then you really get to know her. You can empathize with her, you can understand her. So we thought we'd put our money where our mouths were. And over a period of a year, we went to 13 different communities in and around Cape Town. And we listened to a woman in each one of those communities tell her story. And because we could, we recorded her telling it. So at the end of the year, we had all these stories. And we thought, well, what are we going to do with them now? It'd be nice to get them to other people. So we thought, you know what? We'll transcribe them. That's what Carol did. And we'll put them together in a book. And voila, you know, here it is.
Serialized.
So it was an organic journey, if you like.
I love this, and I'm guessing that, of course, in your search, you did discover that of all those 13 women, their stories were different in their form. But how did you then decide on the stories to tell, and how did you decide which authors to include in this project?
Well, they weren't authors. They were, so many of them said, but I'm not a writer. I'm not a storyteller. I'm just an ordinary woman, which is so much what being a woman is all about. It's just me, you know. But once they were persuaded to tell their stories, to answer your question properly, what we did was we cast the net wide. We sent out forms to everybody and said, tell us about a woman who has inspired you. She doesn't have to be rich and famous and a celebrity. It just needs to be a woman that's really inspired you, who you think, you know, gee, I really like this woman. And so that was how we got women from all over, and we narrowed down the field so that we went to Mannenberg, we went to Woodstock, we went to Muizenberg, we went to Kailicha. We tried to get a real cross-section of Cape Town's kaleidoscope, because it's very different for women depending on where they live. So we went to each one of those communities and we narrowed it down. We were going to have 12 women because there's one woman for every month. But then one of our people, Philippa Kabali Kagwa, who is a storyteller, she said, no, you can't have 12. You've got to have 13 because 12 is a patriarchal number. So we went with 13 women. So the women chose themselves, if you like, and their stories. And if I can tell you, Tabitha, one thing about listening to a woman tell her story is that while you're listening to her, you're sort of rolling your own story. You're thinking, how would I have reacted? What was I doing at that age? How would that have been for me? So you can really bond with that woman just by listening to her story. It's a real gift to say to a woman, tell me your story.
I love the beauty of just listening to a woman telling their story, and certainly in my own experience, I find that you build such a deep connection with the person and you really see them beyond what you see, beyond what's at face value. And I love that you've been able to do this and capture this in the way that you've done with your book. But the webinar is coming up, and that's something to look forward to. Of course, it's the Artscape Women's Humanity Arts Festival. How can the public join this webinar, and what can people expect?
Well, the webinar is as a result of the Women's Humanity Arts Festival this year being virtual. At Women's Zone, we have a little women's library at Artscape where we get together and women tell stories and book launches and panel discussions and all that sort of thing, which obviously we haven't been able to do. So we thought, okay, you know what, let's do a series of podcasts. So we chose a number of women authors who have told their stories one way or another in their books, and we podcast that series. So as a result of that, the Cape Times said they would like to do a webinar to talk a little bit about what it's like to tell your story. So they've chosen three of us, because I'm included because of our book. The other storytellers, if you like, people who are telling their stories through their books, is Colleen Higgs. Colleen Higgs is actually, she's really important because she also has a women's publishing company called Majaji, and she's written her own book called My Mother, My Madness, which is a very, very personal story that she has told. So she talks about how she came to write that very personal story. And the other storyteller, if you like, is Portia Mbao. Portia would be well known to foodies. Portia is the owner of the Africa Cafe in Heritage Square in Cape Town. And together with her daughter, she's put together this mother and father of a book called The Africa Cookbook, in which she hasn't told, well, she has a little bit told her story, but she tells her story through food. And I suppose every woman has a different way of telling her story. I mean, at the Artscape Humanity Festival, we have poets, there are performers, singing and dancing. So every woman tells her story in a different way. And what we've tried to do at the Arts Festival is encapsulate all that. What we've done with the webinar is just focus on three women and just have a very informal chat about why and how they've told their stories. So, you know, and I think important about our book, the Woman Being a Woman in Cape Town book, is that in it, there's a chapter on how to tell your own story. And I think that's what's important. If anybody is listening and thinking, what about my story? What about your story? Tell your story.
I love this. Nancy, this is so beautiful, and I think that your explanation of what to expect at the festival really just makes, it does highlight how rich it will be, and there's something for everyone, truly. But also, thank you very, very much for making sure that you give a platform to all of those women who've been a part of your book to tell their stories so that people can connect with those, and we all can identify the similarities that we share with each other as people, but also just for the women as women themselves. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks.
We wish Nancy Richards, of course, every bit of success with that Women's Stories at Artscape Humanity Arts Festival webinar, which is happening this Wednesday. Here's, right now, though, another inspiring story of a woman who's the only female in her management role at the national organization where she works, and we're so excited to celebrate her. You're going to love this woman. Check this out.
You are still keeping it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And as always, we love celebrating here on the Expresso Show. And this morning, we chat to South Africa's only female National Sea Rescue Institute Station Commander, Sarah Jane Smith. Now, she joined the NSRI in 2009 and has moved to different positions on the boat, from ropes to medical and to crewing the boat when it is out on a rescue. Sarah believes that there is a special place for women in the NSRI, and she joins us now from St. Francis Bay in the Eastern Cape to share her message and her story. Good morning, Sarah, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Sarah, listen, what is it that motivated you to join the NSRI, and how did you begin this incredible journey?
Well, it was total fluke that I ended up at the NSRI. I was new to the area and I was new to the coastal life, and I was simply going with a friend to support her. I'd obviously heard about the NSRI before, but it was that very first visit that really appealed to my adventurous side. And then the type of crew and people that were at the base was what motivated me to stay.
Now, Sarah, as I've mentioned, you're the only female NSRI station commander in the country, which is big, that is massive. What was your reaction to the news, and how supportive has your team been during the course of your tenure?
It's been quite a weird feeling, especially these last couple of weeks, because as soon as I started the position in 2016, so I've been doing this job for coming up to 4 years now. And this year, the media team at our head office pushed celebrating all the amazing women that we have in the Institute. And from that, this came out. So I'm certainly not the first female station commander, and I hope from this exposure that they've done on social media and everywhere else that I won't be the last. The team has been amazing. My station team and the team at head office have been completely 100% supportive. It's an incredible honor to be sitting here in this position.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, I know when it comes to these crazy organizations, working in a male-dominant environment can be a challenge, but how has it been for you? How have you learned and grown throughout this process?
I've learned a lot of confidence, and I've learned to trust in my team at the station and the leadership of the Institute. And we've learned a lot that there's no replacement for training and standards. And with that, it's a testament to the type of people that NSRI are, that they support you through everything.
And it's so great that you have such a great community as well. But take us through what it actually means and what it takes to be a station commander, and what duties are you expected to fulfill?
Well, each station is different around the coastline and on our inland stations as well, but ideally a service record and a close relationship with core values that we have as NSRI are quite crucial. The position is very admin and decision driven, so decisiveness, confidence, that's quite key. And basically, in a nutshell, my job is to manage the crew and the assets to make sure that they are equipped from training right through to equipment to get the job done, to be able to do the rescues that they need to do.
It sounds incredible. Now, I know just from seeing some of the rescues in the ocean, it's such a huge fleet that they do have. And the Sea Rescue, as I believe, is also a charity staffed by volunteers. And much like yourself, you're on call day in, day out, right through the night and throughout the entire year. So more to that, though, can you tell us about the work the NSRI does and how things have been during this COVID-19 pandemic?
We're dedicated to saving lives in South African waters, but it's so much more than that. There's so much work that gets done in the background, from PR and fundraising and call center teams to the guys that actually go out and educate children on water safety and making sure that they know what to do in an emergency, right through to coast watchers and the crew that we have on station. And like you said, we're on call 24/7, 365, right through everything. And out of the 41 stations that we have around the coast and on our inland stations, they're all funded through donations, and the majority of it is run by volunteers and a small modicum of staff at our head office. We've adapted really nicely to the pandemic that's happening at the moment and to maintaining our standards of training.
Sarah, you really are such an inspiration to so many women, but maybe what message do you have to leave us with and perhaps to inspire other women to pursue senior positions across the country?
One of my mentors always said to me, ride the butterflies, and what he essentially meant by that was just follow your gut and persevere and make sure that you just persist at everything and just go for it.
Oh, Sir Jane Smith, our National Sea Rescue Commander in the country, of course, we can't thank you enough for the incredible work that you are doing, and just hope that every rescue that you are going out there in that great abyss of the ocean is nothing but prosperity when it comes to your rescues and all the incredible work you and your team are doing. So I think from everybody in the country that enjoys the ocean, we cannot thank you enough.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for this opportunity.
What an absolute legend. Now, the National Sea Rescue Institute is the charity that saves lives in South African waters. And with capable women like volunteers such as Sarah Jane Smith, who could you ask for? No one better indeed.
Go get it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I take photos from here all the time.
The Feel Good Breakfast Show, you're still locked in, you're still live, and it's still Monday! Now, of course, we often focus on high-intensity exercises for quick results, but we can't always forget that the stretching part and the recovery are as important when it comes to weight loss and, of course, staying healthy and fit. And now it's important to make a habit of stretching and doing active recovery exercises after an intense workout. So is it not only a great way to relieve your stress, but it also reduces the buildup of lactic acid and soreness, and it also keeps those muscles flexible and eliminates a lot of the toxins that you do build up when you're going ham in the gym.
Yes, absolutely. And this morning, I'm going to be taking you guys through, just a stretch or flow workout. And I find that so many times, like you said, we do this high intensity training through the week, but we don't actually take time to recover and reset our body. So this is a perfect way to incorporate this even maybe after your workout and add this on, or you can just dedicate a day to it, like a Sunday, where you recover.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie, I'm actually going to go ahead and say this on live TV. It's not something that you can do. It's something that I think you must do. It's so important for everybody in that gymming environment, in that gym world. You are going to benefit from this, I guarantee you. So let's get it started.
Yes,
I'm so excited.
I'm going to take you back to my dancing days. We always used to do this this flow workout and stretch workout. So we're going to start obviously with the head. We start from the top, and we're just going to bring it over. So you're going to pull it and rest nicely. You don't want to feel a stretch that hurts you. So just pull it over, and once it does start hurting, know that you're doing something wrong then, okay? Of course, you want to feel that stretch and stimulation, but you don't want to get hurt. So go to the other side as well.
This is a really good stretch, Jamie, I must say. It's stretching out the traps a little bit and a little bit of that shoulder region, and it's especially important for us that are sitting at the desk a lot.
Go forward.
We're often hunching up and we're squeezing our shoulder blades and it gets very tight and tense. So it's quite a good one, especially for everybody sitting out at the desk all day, to really just work through this muscle and get some good stimulation.
Put your head forward as well. My hair's going to fall. Yeah. And then just go back as well. So that just focuses on the head and the neck, shoulders, okay? So everything there on top, and you just breathe through it as well. So it's very focused on your breathing as well. Inhale and exhale. So we're gonna go onto the shoulders now. I want you to do 8 rolls to the back. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Like these.
4, yes.
These
5.
are really cool. I must say, not only are you working your shoulders, your rotator cuffs, your stabilizers, especially when it's cold during winter, we get very tight. So this is exceptional, just to open up the body, open up those arms before we do the crazy gung-ho movements and after.
Yes. Another favorite of mine is you're going to lift your arm up. Okay. You're going to bend it over and you're just going to pull this. This is also nice. Again, you feel it in your core, you feel it in the arms. And this is the perfect thing about the stretching. It doesn't just focus on one part of the body, you're focusing on every other part as well.
The stretch specifically, Jamie, for the health nuts out there, stretching out the tricep, which is a really big muscle that's involved in pushing. So our pushing movements, anything that involves balance and stability in the arm, this thing kind of gets really tight and packed up as well. So great stretch you're doing here. Got to ask though, how long do you kind of hold your stretches for, roughly?
You'll kind of feel your body. I try to go to like 8 seconds, a count of 8. But again, just feel it. It's about a flow. It's about how comfortable you feel with that stretching. And again, when you do experience pain or discomfort, know that you're doing something wrong and allow yourself to flow in this. This is also good if you are wanting to work on flexibility, then incorporating something like this. What you're going to do right now, we're going to stretch over to the right.
Ooh, okay, now this is a nice big full body one. Liking this. So it's weirdly enough stretching both lateral and medial lines. So your lateral line is the entire line on the outside of the body, which is basically our left hand at the moment. And then on the medial line, I don't know if you're feeling it in your groin. I definitely am as well. So that's those inside muscles that are kind of supporting you as well. So both lateral and medial lines are getting a nice stimulation. So I'm loving this one, Jamie.
To the other side. I'm so glad that I get to take you through my workout routines for a bit.
Nice. I could get used to this.
You could you? Don't get too used to it, okay? So my favorite again is just to work on this. We're gonna open up and we're just gonna sit it down. So
okay. So we're working the groin, the hips again.
Yes.
I love this. This is for literally, I think, everybody again that sits at a desk. You're sitting at any sort of a chair type situation. Your hips are just gonna get squashed. The psoas is getting tight. Eventually, we get so sucked into the chair that we forget to breathe. So starting by opening up these hips, brilliant one. So this is exceptional stuff. At the same time, being on our toes, Jamie, I like the fact that we're stretching out the calves as well as those Achilles. So it's a nice extra little boost there.
There we go. I like the English words that you're using. That's I'm just like, these English words can go. What we're going to do right now is, and sometimes I find that men find this a bit more difficult because they're not as flexible as women. So don't feel the pressure to go all the way down.
Hey guys, what is this girl talking about? Let's show her.
You're going to tuck your foot in the front.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay, and you're just going to sit in this. Again, breathe through it, count to 8, and just press it down. You can work through this and just pull up,
This is really awesome, Jamie. Obviously working out this hip flexor, but I'm noticing now in this position, if I was just to squeeze my glute a little bit, it's just going to give that extra stretch on that, a little bit of a psoas and that hip flexor. So again, all these muscles over here that allow us to open up, to be more confident and allow us to breathe.
Now we're going to go on to the left side because you always have like a dominant leg, and the left one for me is like the one where I'm just like, I got to practice the stretching on this side.
Really good point you're making as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but it is a factor that we are dominant with one hand or one foot a lot of the time. And what that does is those repetitive movements and those patterns cause imbalance. So it's great to enforce the balance by stretching both sides of the body and training both sides of the body, just to incorporate that balance that we so much strive for.
How do you feel? Because we obviously now did a stretch, you reset, you feel recovered, ready for the week of high intensity training.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling limber. I'm feeling like a little bit of endorphin release. I haven't sweated too much as well, so I can have a nice big breath. I'm feeling good, Jamie.
I love that. So you're going to have to stay tuned as well, because I'm going to be taking you through my post-workout breakfast smoothie in just a moment. But right, like we said, it's time to reset, time to recover, and also time to fuel up, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a moment.
You only have one skin. Nourish it,
and wear it bravely.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you gorgeous people, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. As I promised, it's time to get cooking. Now, if you are looking for an ideal snack or just a meal after a workout, you can't go wrong with a green smoothie. I live by this. And my go-to smoothie contains only 3 ingredients, which is spinach, banana, and almond milk, okay? Now, both the spinach and banana are packed with nutrients and antioxidants. And the best thing about the smoothie is that you can barely even taste the spinach. I know the color is going to put you off, but don't worry. This green smoothie also keeps you fuller for longer and helps you lose weight. So join me in making this yummy powerhouse. Actually, I have a confession, because you're actually the one that introduced me to this.
Oh yes, I actually do remember that ages ago.
Ages ago, and I still stick by it because I love it. I love the fact that I'm incorporating my greens in this, and it's just perfect for a post-workout snack because you don't have time to make like a big meal after it, especially if you're a working mom or just like have a busy schedule. You just want to do 1, 2, 3, Bob's your uncle.
Perfect, yeah. It ticks all the boxes, especially for this crazy lifestyle with no time. So where do we begin, Jane?
Okay,
let's see if you were listening, actually.
Ooh, now the pressure is on. So we're going to start with our almond milk. And again, please have fun with your smoothies. Yeah. I'm just doing a basic one because I want to show you that you can do it basic. You don't need a lot of fancy ingredients. All you need is 3 easy, simple ingredients. So we're going to start with our almond milk. Because I'm making a double batch, I usually use 200 mils. But because you over here also trying to get in on my smoothies, I'm going to throw it all in over here.
Almond milk is really cool. I think it's a nice alternative for anybody that's maybe lactose intolerant as well. So if you have a dairy issue, it's really good to still get a little level of protein, which you're not getting from the dairy. So it's a great substitute for that. It's got a little bit of calcium, and it's just got like good fats, good oils, a little bit of protein as well from the almonds itself. So that again as a base, brilliant. And I'm sure from obviously doing these recipes, it tastes pretty good as well.
It tastes good. I was also very skeptical. I didn't like almond milk like on its own, but when you incorporate all these fun things to it, it then boosts it up and it tastes so much better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw your banana in. Yes. Now again, you can freeze your banana before, but take off the skin before putting it into the freezer. So make sure that you actually, you know, just first peel it, but I didn't freeze it because we saw it winter, so I wanted to make something warm.
Just left it outside.
So I left it outside.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So if you're in Sutherland, you might have to actually defrost it.
Sutherland, oh my friends, you do not. You need all the warmth, so you don't need to put anything in.
While you are cutting that up, of course, guys, head over to expressoshow.com for some incredible recipe inspiration. We're just adding bananas to our smoothie right now. Reason why everybody's obviously afraid of carbs, do not be. It's essential that you incorporate carbs into your post-workout recovery meals. You need to replenish replenish those glycogen stores. Bananas are great. It's got potassium. It's low GI. It's going to give you energy throughout the day. So don't run away from carbs.
All that English that Raul just said, the glycogen of the villologen, it is all good and it's so good for you as well. And it's going to keep you fuller for longer because that's what you want for your breakfast. You want to make sure that it sustains you for the rest of the day or at least until your next snack or your meal. So I'm going to put in 2 bananas because it's the 2 of us. And then what we're going to do right now is put our handful of spinach.
Final power ingredient. Popeye himself
people
would be proud.
sleep on. Yes!
Literally, Popeye would be proud. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show, Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yes.
Who'd smack some spinach and pow, those bars just popping out here. And I think it has been proven that this literally does help bodybuilders in terms of gaining muscle. There's a new scientific study that has come out, so you guys should check that out. So proof's in the pudding here. Is that time you dance? Yeah.
Guys, my heart is the happiest because I get to do this because I get to introduce everybody to my go-to smoothie every single day. There we go. And you can go, again, I put my whey protein in here because we just had a workout. I do my collagen in here as well. And then you just pop it in here. I swear the color is probably putting you off right now, but it is so good for you. And I let Luca do this as well.
Looks incredible. A lean, green, mean, fat-fighting machine.
You are what you eat. Cheers to you, Raul. Cheers to you, South Africa. And of course, you can get this recipe on expressoshow.com.
Oh, it looks delicious now. I am equally as excited about our next segment. Really have been looking forward to this for a while as we continue our focus on exceptional women and their achievements in their respective fields. Now, we're about to hone in on Volunteer Wildlife Services. They've been honoring their female firefighters this Women's Month, honoring the women that, just like the men, are willing to go face to face with a blazing fire to literally save lives. And one of these women, highlighted by the organization, is Slee Mbele. She's been dedicating her time to volunteering as a firefighter for 2 years now at Newlands, being a full-time medical researcher as well, a project manager for the Department of Human Biology at UCT, and also the founder and CEO of Medical Storage Specimen Facility. So she's an entrepreneur. She believes all these roles within the organization are equally as important, and she joins us this morning to tell us how she does it. She sounds like the most phenomenal woman. Slee, a very good morning. Happy Women's Month and happy Monday. How are you?
Good morning, Graham. Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
An absolute pleasure. I think we actually reported on kind of you being one of these standout women that needs to be honed in on during Women's Month. Obviously, we need to be exploring this every day of the year. But what an opportunity on Women's Month to be able to highlight some incredible young women, and you certainly fit the bill. So congratulations on getting this platform. You decided to become a volunteer firefighter after a devastating fire in Muizenberg. Can you tell us a bit more about what motivated you and started this passion for firefighting? What caused you to take the leap?
Well, the Muizenberg fires were just so devastating. Thousands of acres of vegetation just destroyed. I felt helpless. I wanted to get involved. I needed to get involved. So I looked up VWS and I had to inquire about how, if somebody wants to volunteer, how do they go about it? I emailed and, a year later, I got this email that, if you're still interested, these are the dates. I must just say that was the silver lining that I was waiting for the longest time, and was the best email ever.
It's one thing in theory, it's another thing when you actually get to it. As a woman in what I think is perceived as very much a man's world, and I've met many female firefighters, so I know that balance has swung considerably, but what were some of the challenges you experienced, and how did it match up to what you expected and the reality of what it's been like actually being out there fighting fires?
Honestly, growing up in a culture that, I'm Zulu, so growing up in a culture that believed that women belong in the kitchen, and if you wanted to add any value in society, you had to be, have a man or be married. Against all odds, I'm just grateful to actually my mom who taught me, self-worth, values, and, a great work ethic. And basically the most important of all is, if you want things done, roll up your sleeves, and get your hands dirty. So I'm really grateful that, yes, we need a society that sees women and men as just people. But I believe it starts with mind, that as women, we need to start breaking down the barriers of believing that we are inferior. And I think the fire just really, balances that out. There's no gender there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful metaphor, but it gets very real very quickly, I would imagine. So let's talk about your 9 to 5. You're a medical researcher and a project manager for the Department of Human Biology at UCT, and then also an entrepreneur and founder of your medical storage facility. How do you balance everything out and still manage to be a volunteer at Wildlife Services? Wildfire, rather.
After lots of coffee.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. But I'm just really grateful and very lucky to have a team that has such amazing work ethic, that supports my love and passion for nature. So a really shout out to my team. And just prioritizing, I think, plays a huge role. You need to plan, you need to, delegate, but with delegation, you also need to have that follow-up system to ensure all the goals have been achieved. But the truth of it all is that, if you are passionate and committed to any cause, not even the sky is the limit, really.
I mean, everything you've said has been motivational, but maybe you can speak to a young Slee right now. You can speak to a young woman that's wanting to break ground, maybe not just as a firefighter, but in any arena that is possibly dominated by the male kind of energy in that space. What words of wisdom, what motivation do you have for them?
Well, honestly, gender should never be a barrier in achieving one's goals. And by joining VWS, it was the best decision for me that I ever made. The fire doesn't discriminate, and it reinforced self-belief that all persons actually are equal. I had found my tribe. So, we encourage all women, all ages, all race to get involved. Give it a try. You never know until you try it. And you never know. VWS might just be your tribe too. So, if you're in the Cape Town, Stellenbosch area and you want to get your hands dirty, give it a try. But obviously, if fire is not your thing, there are other roles within the VWS or just within the Cape Town area. With VWS, you can be in planning, you can be a driver. So all skills are welcomed. And if getting involved is not your thing, but you want to support, we welcome donations as well. So you can check us out. We, so grateful for all the support and all the donations. So, just keeping in mind that sky is not even the limit.
Slee, you are amazing. Thank you so much. What an ambassador. I want to join your tribe. Thank you so much for...
Please, come on.
Come on, man. Thank you so much for spreading this message, and all the best to you and your amazing team. Slee and Bele, proving that even in what we perceive to be male-dominated arenas, women can thrive and shine. And we thank her and her team for providing such a vital service.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
To you. Happy Monday, everybody. You're still keeping it locked. Okay. Did you just, this is not...
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. Just get that smoothie all over your face. While we give Ryle time to just clear up his face, it's time to wish you, our loyal and love viewers, a very happy birthday. And if it is your birthday today, you celebrate it with none other than Mtokozi Kati. You also might know him as DJ Tira, and he turns 44 years old today. DJ Tira is, of course, the founder of the record label Afrotainment. He's one of those who discovered the Goma music genre, which became popular around about 2017. And after 21 years in the industry, DJ Tira finally won his first SAMA for Best Kwaito album this year. Congratulations, and keep, paving the way forward. And I hope you have a great day, DJ Tira.
And as well as keep everybody dancing and celebrating. Of course. Now, it's that time of the morning again where we get to celebrate you beautiful people and all the birthdays that are coming through. First up, we've got Melanie celebrating her birthday. And that message is, I wish my beautiful wife, Melanie, God's richest blessings on your special day. I'm incredibly proud of the growth that has transcended within you, and I'm blessed to have witnessed it. I love you with every fiber of my being. Lots of love from your husband, Shafiq Edorus. Have a beautiful one, Melanie.
That's beautiful. And the next one is for Georgina. The more sand that has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. Happy birthday, Gina, and this is from all your loving friends.
Yeah, and then Tesna's got a celebration. Tesna's birthday messages. Happy birthday to Tesna Swartz. I hope you enjoy your day. Lots of wishes and kisses from Grant Taylor, Joaja, Roxy, Uncle Jerome, Auntie Elaine, and the rest of the family and friends. Here's nothing but you having an amazing day, Tesna.
This one is also very sweet. It says, in the end, it's not the years in your life that matter, it's the life in your years. Happy 24th birthday to my Pube, Tandokazi Tukani. This is from your Made.
Yeah, and I love Cape Town too.
Yes, we do.
Now, Raylene celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to Raylene Johnson. May you have a blessed day from Dylan, Emma, and the grandkids, Elaine and Jerome. Oh, I have a sparkly one indeed, Raylene.
And then I wish my baby girl Zia Hamid a happy 6th birthday. What a blessing you are. We love you lots, sweetheart. From your mama and Dada. Yes, prachtig.
Indeed. Now we've got Noah. I wish my son Noah Govender a happy birthday. May all your wishes come true, and we love you so much. That's from Moms and Pops. Noah, have a beautiful one.
Lots of love coming through also for Zolani. They say you are what you eat, but I don't remember you eating. An absolute legend. Happy birthday, brother Zolani. From all your brothers, you are a legend indeed.
I love that message. Now, last on our list for celebrating these birthdays, we would love to wish our baby Isaiah Lee Alberton a beautiful and blessed 2nd birthday. We are so happy to have you in our lives. You are naughty as can be, yet clever and super lovable. May the Lord continue to protect you and love you from your father Gershwin, mother Alana, and sister Saskia Alberton.
So much love coming through for you on your birthday today. But of course, if you'd love to send your loved one a birthday message, do so by sending your videos. Those videos, guys, we want to see them to 071-640-6551, or better yet, birthdays@cordova.tv. But if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. Right now, it's time to get on with the order of the show and find out what's happening in and around the world with Tabiso.
Thank you, team. A final look at those news headlines. We start off here in South Africa, where tributes are pouring in for Freddie Blom, possibly the oldest man in the world. He died peacefully of natural causes this weekend at his home in Delft on the Cape Flats. Freddie turned 116 years old in May, and the centenarian was born in the Eastern Cape in 1904 and came to Cape Town in search of work. His widow, Janetta, with whom he was married to for 51 years, said he was a wonderful, hard-working man who cared greatly for his family. He never had children of his own, but raised Janetta's as his own. R.I.P. Freddie. And schools throughout the country are expected to welcome back millions of learners today, with the exception of grades 5 and 8. The Basic Education Department says schooling system is ready to welcome the remainder of the grades back to school. It says all schools qualify and meet the COVID-19 requirements, and this despite some unions complaining that rural and township schools do not have the necessary personal protective equipment equipment, clean water, additional classes and teachers to cope with the new COVID-19 protocols. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump last night declared the wildfires burning homes and devastating precious forestry in California a major disaster and released federal aid. Some 14,000 firefighters are battling 585 fires that have now destroyed nearly 1 million acres. In California's oldest state park, flames scorched 2,000-year-old redwood trees. More than 12,000 dry lightning strikes started the blazes last week during a historic heat wave in which thermometers in Death Valley National Park reached what could be the highest ever temperature reliably recorded since nearly 55 degrees Celsius. And Senegalese officials say that they have asked for 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate, the chemical which caused a huge explosion in Beirut, to be removed from Dakar. This quantity in Dakar's port, which is near residential areas, is nearly as much as was in the Lebanese capital. Officials say the chemical is part of a 3,050-ton consignment destined for neighboring Mali. Moving the consignment to Mali poses a challenge given the current political uncertainty after the recent military coup there, which overthrew President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. And now, heartwarming news from Tanzania. There is immense joy and elation in the Serengeti Game Reserve in Tanzania, where the first eastern black rhino in decades has been born. From a population of approximately 10,000 of this rhino in 1970 to less than 1,000 left in the world today, the species is critically endangered. In 2019, with assistance from the Grumeti Fund, a breeding nucleus of the eastern black rhino was translocated to Tanzania from a population in South Africa. Lindiwe, which means awaited, is one of the females relocated from South Africa that has given birth to the calf. The pair is thriving under the watchful eye of the aerial and ground units, which track the rhino in the Serengeti constantly. And since its inception in 2002, the Grumeti Fund's main goal has been to return the eastern black rhino to the western Serengeti to bolster the greater Serengeti Mara ecosystem's rhino population. Stephen Cunliffe, the executive director of the fund, said that they are hoping for a few more calves to be born. The speed at which their numbers are rebounding is very encouraging, he said. And that's where we leave it for this morning. Here is a final look at what's happening in sport with Graham.
Football dominating this weekend. Let's kick it off with our wrap-up scores back home. In the Premier Soccer League, our table toppers Kaizer Chiefs were held to a 1-1 draw against Stellenbosch FC at the Orlando Stadium last night. But the Amakosi, they do remain at the top of the standings, still 6 points clear of reigning PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns, despite dropping the points. In other PSL results from yesterday, Cape Town City FC, they claimed a memorable 1-0 win over a 10-man Orlando Pirates. There's going to be 3 PSL fixtures today as Maritzburg United face Bidvest Wits and Amazulu take on Bloem Celtic. Both of those fixtures kicking off at 3:30 this afternoon, and then our evening matchup will see Sundowns up against Golden Arrows at 6 p.m. Then on to Friday's action. Spain's Sevilla became 6-time UEFA Europa League champions after just edging out Inter Milan 3-2 in a thrilling final on Friday night. Romelu Lukaku has been a star of the season, scoring for both teams on the night. He gave the Italian side an early lead from the penalty spot after being fouled by defender Diego Carlos, who was lucky not to have been sent off. Then a brace by Luke de Jong put Sevilla in the lead before Diego Godin equalised for Inter, making it 2 apiece in the 35th minute. The match ended with Lukaku scoring an own goal to make it 3-2 to Sevilla, to take their tally now to 6 Europa League titles. Then on to last night's action. Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich continued their brilliant form to beat League One champions Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in a tightly contested final to win the UEFA Champions League. Kingsley Coman scoring the only goal of the match in the 59th minute to secure the win for the German champions. It was a frustrating night for PSG's superstar forwards Neymar and Kylian Mbappe, who were played out of the game, struggling to find the back of the net. So Bayern Munich now have won the Champions League for a 6th time in the club's illustrious history. Then on to rugby down under. Still a second half performance by the Brumbies saw them overcome the Waratahs 38-11 in a high-scoring Super Rugby Australia weekend to go back to the top of the standings. Brumbies scoring 4 tries in the final 40 minutes to go 2 points clear of the Reds. For a moment, at least, on Friday, the Reds rang in 8 unanswered tries to thrash the Western Force 57-5. The bonus point victory temporarily gave them the competition lead before the Brumbies then recorded their win. The Rebels sat out, of course, this round with a bye. Now onto two wheels and back on the track. KTM Tech 3's Miguel Oliveira. He overtook Pramac Ducati's Jack Miller and Red Bull's KTM's Paul Espargaro on the final corner to win the maiden MotoGP race in his career at the Styrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring yesterday. The second consecutive race in Austria was restarted after being rig flagged yet again. It was Monster Yamaha's Maverick Vinales who was forced to jump off his bike due to brake failure. His bike then crashed and burst into flames, causing the red flag and restart. South Africa's Brad Binder continued his good vein of form, finishing in a credible 8th place and now sits 4th on the championship table. And then finally, we've got to add our voice to the many, congratulating our Proteas star batsman and former captain Faf du Plessis and his wife Emari Visser, who welcomed their second beautiful daughter last week, Thursday. Du Plessis missed Cricket South Africa's culture camp last week to be alongside his wife as they welcomed baby Zoe into the world. So we send Zoe all our love and congratulate the entire family, hoping they're loving having the new addition. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take one last look at your sunrise pictures and the weather.
Thank you very much, G-Man, and thank you to our stunning viewers for sending in those stunning sunrise photos and for contributing to our weather report this morning. Let's take a quick recap. Anthea Kruger shared this gorgeous blue skyline of Worcester, where you can expect temperatures ranging from a chilly 9 to a maximum of 19 degrees. Then we got this one from JP Malherb, who sent us this stunning sunrise picture of the sun sneaking through the trees in Robertson, where temperatures reach a maximum of 18 degrees. Nompilo Vuyos came through with her skyline picture all the way from Eswatini, where temperatures reach the low teens. And Elizabeth Clark also came through with a selfie sunrise picture from Keymouth in the Eastern Cape, and we are loving it. Keymouth will see a cloudy day today with temperatures reaching a maximum of 20 degrees. So do post your own sunrise pictures on Expresso Facebook page, of course, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and who knows, we might just feature it on the show. Down under, wallabies have been skipping with snow underfoot as people in southeast Australia enjoy rare snowfall brought on by the Antarctic winds. New South Wales, Victoria, the Australian Capital Territory and the island state of Tasmania have experienced snow, with pictures of snowy towns and landscapes filling social media. Now, these snowy scenes are a far cry from the scorching temperatures, obviously, that brought catastrophic wildfires to the region in January. But the cold weather hasn't been all fun and games, with some cars sliding off the roads due to icy conditions. Australia's Bureau of Meteorology said that more than 1 meter of snow had fallen, and the cold weather is likely to remain for several days. The wild winds and heavy snow have led to the closure of several roads. And now we take a look at those temperatures across our very own country, starting off with Polokwane 6, reaching a high of 26. Those are your temperatures. With sunny times out in Mbombela, 13, that's your low. You will peak at 33 degrees today. If you're out in the capital city, Pretoria, 8, that's your low, reaching a high of 25, with Johannesburg starting off at 6, reaching a high of 23 degrees. 0% chance of rain today for Mahikeng, 9, reaching a high of 27. And it's sunny out in Klerksdorp, 8, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees. Kimberley, 9 and 27, with Bloemfontein starting off at 1, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. If you're out in Richards Bay, your temperatures are 14 and 25, with 1% chance of rain for Pietermaritzburg, 9, reaching a high of 26 degrees. South Africa's playground, Durban, 10, reaching a high of 24, with Mthatha at 8 and 22. East London, your low is 11, reaching a high of 20, with Craddock starting off at 5, peaking at 25 degrees. 63% chance of rain out in Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 11, reaching a high of 18, with 30% chance of rain for George, 9 and 16. Cape Town, the mother city, 11 and 19, with cloudy times out in Worcester, 9, reaching a high of 19. -2, that's your low, Sutherland, and 20, that's your maximum. And lastly, Uppington, you will start off at 8, peaking at a high of 30 degrees. Lots of sun expected your way for today. But of course, we do this bright and early again tomorrow morning. Get those pictures through to us of yourself enjoying your sunrise onto our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3.
The Feel Good continues. As you guys know, we love and we live for our coffee in the morning. And every now and then we throw, a donut for some good measure because everyone deserves nice things. But courtesy of McCafe, we want you to enjoy this delicious combo too.
Yeah, indeed we do so. That's why we have 10 McCafe vouchers to give away, which can be used to redeem at the cappuccino and donut deal. And of course, all you need to do is share your favorite positivity quote that helps you kickstart your Monday and get you through the week. So
how amazing is that? Like, all you have to do is spread positivity and you could actually get this amazing combo deal. That is perfect.
For doing something positive, why not? And of course, we've got 10 vouchers, revealing one every single day. So get involved, guys, of course, and just reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page with your favorite feel-good quote and use that hashtag McCafe Motivation. Now, of course, the competition closes tonight at midnight, so get on it because your coffee and donut is waiting for you. And of course, those T's and C's can be found on the expressoshow.com.
It's waiting for me indeed.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Mosa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. It is Monday, and it's time to talk about relationships. Now, in the last few decades, the voice and presence of women in sectors that are male-dominated has increased, but there are still so many obstacles we as women have to overcome in order to maintain a true gender equality in the workplace. So today we're asking, how far has gender equality in the South African workplace come? Well, this morning we are joined in studio by therapist, speaker and trainer Asha Dulab to help us discuss this topic. So good to have you with us this morning, Asha.
Good morning. Lovely to be back.
Even though we have to kind of maintain our just always so good for us to have you actually here in person. I can't tell you, we've all really missed that human connection. This is quite a dynamic topic to talk about because we get approached it from so many angles. Let me start maybe with the statistics. Women are making up 46% of the workforce, which speaks to a shift that we are moving in the right direction, saying nothing of the wealth gap and the wage gap that I'm sure still is very dominant. But what does this say about the role that women are playing in society? How has that evolved as more women move into the workplace and out of the traditional role of staying at home, bringing up the children?
I think the key word there was definitely evolvement. I think that if you look at the conditioned mind of how women have been seen as the homemaker and the nurturer and the carer, women now are doing that in addition to so many other roles in the communities, in society, in government, and of course in the workforce. So I think women have evolved and their role have has actually amplified, bringing out the unique qualities in a woman. And I think women actually bring the emotional language into the workforce, their gentleness, their love, their empathy, their compassion. It all just is brought into the workforce now, which is very much needed.
Especially now. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you said that women are commanding our space in the workforce. But what are some of the pressures that, the modern women are still facing in South Africa?
Yeah, well, there are lots of pressures, of course. Women are feeling pressured by the time management, by having to manage the home versus work scenario. But I think that the pressures are actually, we need to look at it from an inside-out perspective. Looking at the internal scripts and the dialogue that women actually have within themselves. The scripts of, I'm not good enough, I need to be perfect, I need to try hard. Those internal pressures are the greatest struggle for women, apart from all the external. So we need to look at it more from an inside-out perspective. Those are the pressures that are really paralyzing women in the workforce.
And I want to touch on that because I think it's so important that when you say dialogue, because we as women need to have a dialogue with ourselves and start believing in ourselves in order for us to then push it over to the workspace and the workforce.
And don't look at Instagram.
Yes.
Don't believe anything you see on Instagram. It's all nonsense.
Absolutely. I mean, women need women. We need to support each other. We need to be there for each other. I mean, the support is critical.
You say the support is critical, and I suppose from one side of this, we are looking for equality in terms of how people are treated within the workspace. But if you're managing a household, if you're playing the traditional role of a mother, which you have to do, and then still maintaining a dominance in that workspace, in your role, you're going to need extra support. Are women supported in their work structures, do you think, sufficiently?
I think there's a lot being done for women in the workplace. I think that, there's flexible hours, there's work from home options, there's childcare services offered now in the workplace. But I think when it comes to support, women need the support from the ones that are closest to her. And these are the relationships that women have in their lives, relationships with friends, with family, with work colleagues. This is what we are needing to nurture more, because I think that there's a support deficit in that regard. We are suffering relationship poverty. So the more women can experience more authentic, growth-orientated relationships with people that are closest to them, that's when they'll feel supported.
We're sitting in a relationship wasteland at the moment after lockdown. Obviously, everyone is craving more of that.
Yeah.
So many more questions to ask you, Asha. Thank you so much for joining us. You can, of course, join the conversation on our social media platforms. We are talking about women in the workplace, dominance, and how do you just manage to juggle it all. We'll continue the conversation in a moment.
Such a vital conversation indeed now before we pick up on that. It's Meat Free Monday and we're here with Biwal, and on today's menu, an oh so easy and super snappy pesto pasta salad. And we'll be making homemade basil pesto with locally sourced canola oil and an array of fresh veggies. Oh, it's sounding delicious indeed. Now this is the perfect light dinner or quick lunch for all our health conscious viewers wanting to cut out meat where possible. Now watch closely as this one is ready in nothing but a few minutes. And I'm joined by the beautiful Teresa. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I kickstarted this morning with a nice little meat-free smoothie with Jamie. I had some almonds and some spinach and bananas. So I think this is just the perfect addition to add a full meat-free meal. So let us begin.
Okay. I'm going to be making some basil pesto from scratch.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to chop some veggies for me.
At your service. How do I do this? What do I add?
So what I'd like you to do is slice the spring onions and cube our avo.
Slice the spring onion and cube the avo.
So I'll let you get on with that.
Let me just make some space here.
So I'll start with our pesto. We've got some fresh basil here. Beautiful, beautiful flavor.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add our parmesan.
I'll be honest with you, making basil pesto is probably something I would never even try in a
Oh, you have to. It's so easy.
It's just too intimidating, the sound of it. But I'm paying close attention here, and I'm sure everybody else is.
You'll keep doing it. So I've added some garlic. I'm going to add some pine nuts. Pine nuts are a little bit on the pricey side, so if you don't want to use those, you can use walnuts, you can use sunflower seeds.
Or what you could do, I think they are flowering currently, so you can actually get some of them in the forest if you're very adventurous.
Oh, wow, if you're a forager.
You can earn it, yeah.
I'm going to add some fresh lemon juice.
Oh, that's always a goodie. Yeah.
Salt and pepper. You know, I think everyone should have a good pesto recipe in their back pocket because it's fabulous on pasta, of course.
Okay.
But you can put it on sandwiches, you can put it on your grilled veggies, on your meat as well if you're not going meat-free.
My back pockets and my front pockets are currently very
All
empty.
your pockets.
So you need to fill them.
Fill it with the pesto. Right, I'm going to add our canola oil. And then it's simply a case of blitzing it together. So easy.
I'm trying to get into my Zen mode here.
That
Sorry,
looks good.
trying
Nice
to focus
even
here with a
pieces.
knife. Unfortunately, I'm not at the stage in my cooking career where I can multitask like Clem and the rest of you professionals, so I will not be looking anywhere.
Right, so I'm going to blitz this.
Said to Jamie earlier, whenever we're blitzing food, you got to dance.
Oh,
You got
right.
to shake up while you bake up.
I'm going to give this a little shake. It's a good one. Yeah.
So tell me again, what have you got in there? You've got basil, right, obviously.
The Parmesan
Yes,
cheese, you can
yes.
use the pecorino as well.
Okay.
Our pine nuts, our garlic, some fresh lemon juice, and some salt and pepper.
I can smell it, and it's not even like it's sealed in the jar, and yet I
you
can get
still
the
smell
aromas.
it.
It's awesome.
And always remember to taste it as well when
Okay.
it's done. Check your seasoning, adjust it, and make sure you're happy.
Okay, we got you. So add a little bit more lemon if you want more tang, or
Yeah,
vice versa.
exactly.
Play
A bit
around with it.
more
Okay.
salt.
This is where the love and the soul comes into this
yeah.
sauce there.
Let me put this And of course the color, it's so vibrant.
Anything
it looks
green
amazing.
to me, it's like Hulk juice. I always literally feel like Hulk when I'm having anything green. I'm like, yeah, ready for the day. Let Popeye vibes are at me. But obviously, guys, head over to expressoshow.com where we've got this incredible recipe inspiration. We're doing a meat-free Monday here. We started off with a beautiful smoothie, and now we're taking it into this pesto salad. And we're doing it from scratch, making our basil pesto, which we've just finished right now. And Teresa's just showing us how to deliver the goods.
I mean, look at that.
Oh, that looks good.
So easy. How long did that take? A couple
That wasn't
of minutes.
even a minute. That was really cool. Okay, I'm starting to understand how this back pocket can get full quite easily.
Absolutely. And keep it in the fridge if you have any leftovers. It also freezes beautifully.
Does it last?
Yes, about a week.
Okay.
Just put a thin layer of oil on top. It stops it from discoloring. But what I would do is make a double batch and put half of it in the freezer for a rainy day.
I like that.
And then
Foresight.
you've got it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I must be honest as well. Basil pesto can almost go with anything. Like
That's the thing. Absolutely.
if you are adding meat, let's not talk about meat today, but if you are adding meat, it's still a great compliment.
Perfect,
If you're
yeah.
not, I think it also just gives a great comparison in terms of like the flavor profiles you'd get with a meat dish. So.
And you can pop it in your salad dressings. You can use it to
Yeah.
make dips. I mean, the sky's the limit with
Yeah.
pesto.
All right, so we've got the pesto done. What's
Would you like
next?
to do our salad? You're going to chuck
Certainly.
our veggies into the bowl. So we've
Chop
got some
the veggies in the
beautiful,
bowl, all
or
right?
just put them in here, yeah.
Okay.
So you've got
I've
our
done the little
tomatoes.
chopped avo. Is that good? Can I pop it in there as
You
well?
can pop it in there, yeah.
Waiting for this part. Ah, yes, it worked.
Oh, yeah.
It was looking like sticky
No pressure.
epic fail. All right, so I'm chucking in the rest of this. I got
Yes, our
some
spring
chives.
onions. We've got some tomatoes, some cucumber, some olives, some feta. So
Dash or the whole thing?
throw it all in. I think let's do it all.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm mixing our pesto into our cooked pasta.
Okay.
So that's going to be part of our salad.
Am I adding this?
Yes,
vinegar?
please. That's our red wine vinegar.
Oh, okay, lovely.
And we're also going to add our Be Well olive oil. So you're looking for 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. So that's kind of your typical salad dressing combo. There we go. All right, we're going to give that a mix.
Got you. I'm starting to get excited now. You know, when it's like that final phase of the dish, we're almost there.
And I think when you can see all that colour, you just know there's going to be lots of
Oh, I thought I was
healthy,
doing that
good
for you.
stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm
just
control
getting
freak in the
excited.
kitchen. You know, can't help it. Mix that all together.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put the pasta in our dish. I mean,
Beautiful
look at that.
green live pasta,
So
of course.
Lovely, yeah. And then we're going to add our fresh ingredients. Pop those in, stir it through. I mean, that's just beautiful.
Sorry, excuse my silence. I'm just salivating here while we get this done.
And it's a great lunch, it's a great dinner. And then we're going to add our micro herbs. Sorry, I've got feta fingers here. Pop that on. How easy was that?
Look at me smiling here. Absolutely incredible stuff, Teresa. Thank you so much. Of course, guys, head over to expressoshow.com where you'll find this recipe. And if you've just tuned in, shame on you. But don't worry, we've got the recipe recap coming at you. Check it out.
food, life.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still with us on this Monday morning, a start to a brand new week. And as we are taking a deep focus on how far women have come in the South African workplace, we also need to gain a better understanding of the challenges and also the opportunities women are presented with. Now, joining us via video call to break this down is Professor Anita Bosch, who is an associate professor at University of Stellenbosch Business School for Women at Work, Organizational Behavior and Leadership. Professor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Happy to be with you.
It's so wonderful to chat to you, Professor. Let's start by looking at access to opportunities for women in, say, mid to higher powered and paying jobs. The question is, are women getting coveted positions as much as men are?
Well, I think worldwide the answer is no. So in South Africa also, there's around about 23% women in senior management, in top management, and then the level below that around about 33%, depending on what statistics you look at. So no, and not in terms of the number of economically active women in the population. Certainly, we're not doing good enough.
That's disheartening.
And that is sadly still the reality. But we have been contending, the gender pay gap. How prevalent is this in South Africa?
The gender pay gap, the statistics that you usually see in the newspaper, on the news are based on econometric data. So that's not, it's an indication, and it gives us an indication of the patterns over years. So when you look at that, if you're it depends where you're in the pay range. If you're in the midsection of the pay range, then the gap is likely to be anything between 23% and 35%. If you're in the very, very top level of the pay scales, the top percentile, the 90th percentile, there we've seen a broadening again of the gap between women and men, which should not be at all at that level. And then if you're at the very bottom of the pay distribution, then you'll see that the gap has actually started closing, and it's attributed to the basic minimum wage that has been introduced.
I think, Professor, when we have chats around pay gaps and gender equality in the workplace, one of the topics that tends to come up is that even in an instance where women are in high-powered positions, that they often feel like they don't receive enough support, or that they don't command as much respect, or don't get as much respect, as what their male counterparts would. Is that true in your findings in your case study?
Well, the reality is that some workplaces, not all, but the majority of workplaces are very, very masculine environments. Aspects, characteristics and traits that are valued are hyper-competitiveness, the idea that, that people should be available 24/7, that they're disembodied, that they don't have care obligations, which we know is not true of any man either. But those types of characteristics are valued in especially male-dominated industries. And so when a woman enters into the workplace, if she just displays the traits that she's learned over the years and been socialized into, she's likely to have a lot of a pushback. We refer to that as the double bind. You kind of have to be nice, but also firm. Yeah. And if you're too firm, then that comes with its own consequences. So there's definitely a lot around masculinity and femininity, which resides in every human being, but you kind of have to adapt to what the environment requires of you, and that sometimes is a big barrier to women.
And I think that we do still have a long way to go, but I think just looking back at how far we've come, let's speak about the positive around this now that women are in power and commanding their space in a workforce in South Africa.
Yes, well, the reality is that as we always want to do these business cases, we want to say, well, put a number of women into the workplace, and if you do that, then you'll see a greater return on investment and so on. And there's many studies that do prove that. But I really want to say that irrespective of whether women then do add to the bottom line, we never ask this of men. So if a man's employed, we don't ask what's the business case. Is he going to improve the profit of the company? As though they kind of, men are the standard and women kind of have to be added only when there's a business case for it. So I think what's great about having more women is that they're more role models. A lot of young women growing up, know that this is possible for them. It also changes the workplace for men, not just in the negative. Some men kind of push back on this a lot and feel that their privileges are being taken away. But if we think about parental leave and the way in which workplaces have been structured so that care obligations are given greater levels of consideration. If we think about workplace flexibility, all of those have come on the back of women entering into the workplace and demanding more of this. And so it's good for both men and women when we enter into the workplace. There's also different ways of leading, and I don't want to essentialize because there are many women that are quite masculine in the way in which they lead. But in general, there's a level of care that gets introduced into the workplace. And when we see a tipping point, when there's more women, I'm hoping that this will also start manifesting. There's mixed results in studies around that, but I'm feeling positive that at least a greater level of private life will be introduced into the workplace and be normalized, and so that we don't end up with these separate worlds and kind of having to move between them.
Professor Anita Bosch, you are really such a gem. Thank you very much for all the work that you do with the University of Stellenbosch in that area of focus. This is fantastic, and this conversation obviously is so broad, would need an entire day, but I'm sure people can find a lot of your resources within the university's platforms. But thank you so much for sharing that insight, but also your time with us this morning.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
It was Professor Anita Bosch. I think it's encouraging to see the increasing surge of women who are really rising to the occasion and rising to the challenge and showing that actually they are the bosses in this regard and commanding that power. And it's so encouraging and so beautiful to see women really taking that space up, and not only just waiting for the opportunity, but every day we're seeing such incredible women out there setting the tone, but also building those platforms. Salute.
Right, so let's return to an ongoing campaign that continually inspires us. Since the start of the Woolworths Fill a Bag campaign, our Expresso crew have been running a little bit of a challenge of our own where we donate and nominate fellow crew and family to get involved as well. And everyone's really stepped up to answer the call. The idea is that we tap into our various networks, whether that's your friends, your family, in the workplace, your neighborhood, your groups, your communities, anything, your WhatsApp groups, whatever connections you have. Go out there and challenge people.
Definitely couldn't agree with you more, Gina. It's so crazy to see the impact of it all. For something as little as just 10 Rand, that's going to provide 3 meals a day for someone, an entire day. I mean, 10 Rand is not that much to us, but the impact it has on someone else is just monumental. So I think it's just an extra reason to go that extra bit and just give whatever little bit that you do have, of course.
and really, we're loving seeing the positive effect that it's had and inspiring other people along the way. So today we have got a very special new nomination coming through after being inspired by recent donations and being personally challenged by her friend and fellow intern Kelly, who of course donated recently. Our very own Aniba Folman has decided to do her part and donate. There she is. Hello, gorgeous thing. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you, Graham?
I'm good, Han. Thank you so much for stepping up. What motivated you to make the donation?
So literally feeling that there's people out there that actually don't have a meal, basically. It just touched me after Kelly's donation, and that's when I thought, okay, no, I should
step up and
and do something, yeah.
Exactly how easy it is, just scanning the QR code. You can do that with SnapScan or with your banking app, and then
yeah, of course. And if you don't have SnapScan, remember you can also use your banking app to scan the QR code on your screen, of course, or visit woolworths.co.za/together we will for more info on how to make an EFT donation. As that, yeah.
And it's done. Well done, Aniba. Thank you so much. Now you can go challenge someone else to do it. And all of the interns are not going to get away with this one. But thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully that's inspired you to go out there and do something for your fellow South Africans. And we've got to say thank you to everyone who has jumped into action and been able to help out. To those who really do need it at the moment, thanks for your continuous and ongoing support from all South African citizens. Can you get this now? Woolies have managed to raise 2,418,111 Rand.
Yes,
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So as it stands, that equates to a total of 819,698 of their meal packs going towards their 1 million meal goal. So thank you so much to Aniba and everyone else who has made a donation.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, indeed, you're still back with us on the start to a brand new week. It is Monday, so we're talking all things relationships. And today, therapist, speaker, and trainer Asha Dulab is joining in studio to help us discuss how far women have come in the workplace in South Africa in light of Women's Month. Of course, so much to unpack. We just spoke to Professor Anita Bosch as well. We still have a long way to go, and I'm so glad that we highlight the fact that we are getting there, step by step.
We've come a long way, definitely.
One area that seems to be highlighted constantly in a lot of our discussions around this topic is that women often find other women competition in that space, that one powerful woman will feel threatened by another. How prevalent is that, and why does this happen, and how can it make a woman in the workplace feel to know that not only is she competing against an already skewed environment, but actually this dominant kind of force in opposition in that workplace?
Sure. Sure, I think that we need to look at this narrative of power. What do we mean by powerful women? Because if we look at power, if we take away all the achievements and successes that women have, I mean, are we left with a powerful woman? So it's interesting to look at how are women perceiving other women as powerful, and in looking at this power, this whole power paradox, what I have found is that as much as women are sitting in these roles where they are in powerful executive positions, in leadership positions, a lot of them are also feeling powerless, feeling that they are still searching for their desires, and they're still yearning for desires. So I think what's important in this is that all women need to be asking some more organic questions. Well, how do I serve? What is my contribution? What is it that I admire in other women? And I think when women feel quite threatened, it leaves women feeling quite alone and isolated, and then again that lack of support comes in. So I think that there is competition. It's part and parcel of life. I think that we're all striving to self-actualize, and what we need to do is actually really discover who we are. We need to know who we are. Like, we can't say I believe. We almost need to know as if we are so sure that the sun's going to rise tomorrow. We know that the sun's going to rise tomorrow. Not believe it, so it's a deep sense of knowing who we are as women, and in that way we won't feel so threatened by other women.
We're speaking about a lot of powerful women on the show today that's commanding their space and going into higher positions. Would you say women are feeling motivated and inspired to enter those higher level positions?
Absolutely. I think motivation is there because we all naturally want to self-actualize ourselves and really get to the very best version of ourselves. And I think women need to persevere. If you think about Oprah Winfrey, I mean, she was always told that she was unfit for TV, and yet look where she is today. So really just believing in yourself, persevering, that intrinsic motivation is there. We need to trust ourselves and trust the process, and know that the last thing that comes from a fruit tree is the fruit itself. So we need to have that patience and pull through that with that perseverance that we inherently have within us.
And I'm glad you used the word inherent, because I think in every, I come from a single parent, household, or mom that just proved that every single day. So your strengths reserves are far greater than you know. So believe in yourself, and hopefully today you've been as inspired, but still clearly a long way to go. So keep fighting, and I say that to both sides of the gender fence.
You are still locked into your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. What is beauty to you? Well, to me, it's about who you are, who you want to be, and where you're going. Applying your makeup shouldn't feel like a lot of effort. It must simply inspire you to be creative, experimental, and self-expressive. Whether you're a professional makeup artist, a trend follower like myself, or just getting started experimenting on your canvas, we have the perfect brand for you. Essence believes in everyone, but most of all, they believe in the girl inside of every one of us. Well, right now we are joined by beautiful women, starting off with the oh-so-glamorous Sobekwa twins and makeup artist Ariba Baker. Ladies, welcome to Expresso.
Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure having you ladies here with us. I mean, you all are very passionate about makeup and beauty. Why do you believe that Essence is the perfect fit for you? I'll start with the twins.
I just remember being in high school and it being the first makeup product we ever bought, and we're still using the brow product today.
Yeah.
And it's just such a perfect fit for us because we feel that it's very beginner friendly and it has such a wide range of products in terms of all the basic face work that you need to do. And that's what we mostly focus on, just having a finished face.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, it's probably one of the most
affordable makeup brands with such great quality at the same time. Yeah.
I can attest to every single thing that you've just said. Affordable, but achieves a beautiful finish at the end. Ariba, you're a makeup artist. What about yourself? What makes Essence the perfect fit for you?
Look, as a makeup artist, I really find these products great value for money. Like when I go to the stores, and especially when I was just starting out, I couldn't afford a lot of high-end expensive makeup, and Essence provided the quality that I was looking for, and it was something so affordable. So yeah, and it's super easy to use. I find most of the products like beginner friendly, like the Sobekwe twins mentioned, but yeah, I really, really love that it's great value for money.
Essence has recently launched their new Perfect Matte Lipstick, which I have on. Do I look perfect?
Girl, you look so beautiful. What shade are you wearing?
Actually, I have it here. I am wearing the duck face. So it's all about pouting with this one.
Beautiful. I'm actually wearing I Dare You.
I dare you. I love it. I love how it pops on the screen as well. But Ariba, let's get into these beautiful matte lipsticks. What differentiates, this lipstick from others on the market?
Look, I've been using matte lipsticks for the longest time, and I've tried so many different matte lipsticks, but the one thing that differentiates these ones from the rest is that although it's matte finish, it's super comfortable on the lips. Like I don't find my lips cracking throughout the day, and it's long lasting as well. Like I could eat a whole burger and my lipstick will still stay in place. But I think the one thing that stands out the most is definitely the comfort.
It doesn't transfer a lot to, your food or your clothes or anything like that. And for you, Sobekwe twins, you're saying that you've been a user of Essence since high school. What differentiates it for you compared to anything on the market right now?
I think more than anything, like Ariba said, it's not heavy on the lip. I think if it smudges, it's so easy to remove, and at the end of the day, you can remove it with makeup wipes so much easier. It just doesn't stain the lips. I think that's so important for people who aren't like big makeup. Like we like makeup, but maybe not big, but we love makeup at the same time. And we think it really works for us. Yeah.
You just mentioned something that's really important, the ability to remove a matte lipstick with just a wet wipe without struggling. So that's something that we can really appreciate when it comes, to this Essence matte lipstick right now. Ariba, what are some of the hottest trends when it comes to lipstick, and how do you achieve it with the Essence matte lipstick?
I've actually seen the ombre look making a comeback, and I like to use a lip liner that's 2 shades darker than the lipstick I'm going to apply, and then I like to apply the Essence Liquid Matte all over it, over the lip liner as well, so it sort of blends in, creating that ombre look, and it's so easy to achieve that with the Essence lipsticks.
I love that you literally just mentioned something that I always do on the show that I have currently done on my lips. Ombre is in, and we are here for it. Annalisa and Asan. Oh, thank you. Annalisa and Asanele, you always look Instagram ready. What are some of your makeup secrets to achieving that perfectly polished look with Essence?
I just would say that we really put a lot of focus on our face work. We just want to have a finished face and just a hint of a glow. And the Essence primer and the perfect, like the mousse is, it works wonders for us, and that's all we always put focus on our face work. Yeah, and we also try and focus on the most prominent facial features like our eyebrows or our eyelashes, and the Essence Lash Princess Mascara is so perfect for that, as well as the brow kit that we've been using for probably almost 10 years now. Exactly.
You know what? You ladies do not need much of any doing on your faces. You are perfect. You are gorgeous. Before I let the twins go, can I please get who between the two of you? Just lift your hand and say, my name is...
My name is Annalisa. And my name is Asan.
Oh, I love you so much. Annalisa and Asanele and Ariba, thank you ladies for joining us this morning, for shedding some light on this awesome product that is very easy on the pocket but also achieves a high-end look. Have a fantastic morning further.
Thank you so much.
Now, if you at home are looking for, a new lipstick, make sure that you get your hand on a perfect matte lipstick from Essence. Trust me, you will not regret it. It will keep you pink and proud. Visit www.cosmetics.co.za for the Essence stockist list. Let me reapply my lipstick because I can, okay?
up, then makeup. I'm kissing, I'm vibing. I wake up, then makeup. My lipstick, my sidekick. Kiss my matte lips. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Your timing is very good. Team Samsung, of course, we're here on Friday, and lots of excitement as they dropped by to show us the brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 20. It is amazing, a beautiful power phone to say the least. And in celebration of the launch, they gave you guys the chance to win one of 2 Galaxy Note 20s. Wow. And that's not all. They also had 10 Galaxy Buds. Look how hot those are. Okay. The earphones that everybody wants, and they gave them away to you, or at least to some of you. And we're about to announce the winners now. Please, drum roll, if you will.
Yes, all of the excitement, drum roll, please. There we go. Okay, well, listen up. I'm going to start off with announcing our 10 very lucky winners for the Samsung Galaxy Buds. And these are amazing, of course. If you did enter, listen up close, because your name might just be one of these names I'm about to read out right now. Congratulations to Fadil Ayub, Sbusiso Kuzwayo, Mike Buitumelo, Shomohi Melvin, Rejoice Letzike, Herbert Sengwayo, Matata, Ritumete Siko, Tato Muteilani, and Hanoru. Congratulations, guys.
Well
Come on.
for all of you.
Yes.
All right, and if you didn't hear your name then, maybe you'll hear it now. We're excited now to announce the next 2 winners who will each walk away with a brand new state-of-the-art Galaxy Note 20 device. Drum roll, please. Massive congratulations to Samantha Brown and Stephanie Kelly Dlamini.
Yeah, come on.
Well done. Oh man, this is a hot device. Congratulations, ladies. We hope that you really do enjoy your brand new devices, courtesy of our friends at Samsung. You are almost the first South Africans to own the new Galaxy
Note.
Note.
Look at what the phone looks like as well. Of course, you're going to be living on the Galaxy side of life.
He's gorgeous.
This Galaxy Note 20 is a life changer, and I know that you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm so jealous.
Well
congratulations,
done, guys. Congrats.
Everybody. Ryle, what's happening?
What is happening, boys? Oh, we got something special lined up for you. Of course, it's Gospel Monday, and we had some inspiring stories, but now we're going to kick it off with some inspiring music. Now, earlier on, the incredible duo over here, we had Roderick McKay and Jared Ricketts performed an exceptional rendition of Give Thanks. It was just beautiful indeed.
Thank you so
Warming
much.
up the soul, so sensual. But now we're moving over to that next hot topic. It is Seek the Kingdom of God. But before we do, let's just remember that Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay are asking all of you at home to perform your rendition of the song and include it and tag us in our social media channels. And we might even put that performance up online for you to see for yourself. We can make you famous. But anyway, back to the magic, of course, taking it away with a lovely rendition of Seek the Kingdom of God, Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things days shall be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open up to you. Hey, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thank you so much to Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay. Please take a bow, uplifting our spirits this morning on this Monday morning. Thank you, Jared Ricketts. Thank you, Roderick McKay. Just setting that mood and setting that tone for the Monday and just this week ahead.
Delivering all the magic indeed. What an exceptional show we had, Jamie. So much women empowerment like we loved, of course, and kickstarting your Monday and taking it off into the rest of the week. Jamie and I will be joining you in the next 15 minutes. That's 9:15, where we're coming at you with some Facebook Live magic. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, all about stretch, all about resetting your body, recovering your body, because we do have a great week ahead. A lot of fitness also coming your way this week. But maybe you just want to take it back a bit and, start this week on a positive note. We already had this beautiful spiritual upliftment. And now let your body get that reset and start it all over. So 9:15, 9:15 on our Facebook Live social media platforms. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. But guess what? We do it all over tomorrow morning. But for now, ciao, ciao. Meow, meow, everybody.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.